Hello, this is Hero of Legend, and welcome to the Sonic 25th Anniversary Party in San Diego Predictions Podcast. I'm your host, Hero of Legend. I know, shocking, isn't it? And I'm joined by three of my friends from the Sonic Stadium forums. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm RK64. I love the Sonic series, and I write a lot. And let's have a happy anniversary for the Blue.
Hey guys, it's your favorite president of SSMB, Crow here. And I'm here to represent SSMB because I feel like it.
Hello, I'm Mikyeong. I used to be Sonic 2 on Sonic Stadium, and I love Sonic a lot, so I'm hope for the best for Sonic.
Yep, it's a pretty big day coming tomorrow at, what time would it be? Isn't it like at 9 p.m. EST or something? So basically 24 hours from now, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
I think it's like in 2100 hours, I think. I don't know.
2100?
I'm sorry, mine's just in military time.
That's okay.
How hot is that?
I think it's 9 o'clock in New York time, and they have all
same thing. Yeah, EST.
Okay.
Yeah. So, this is I think all of our first podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never been in a podcast.
You've been in some before, Crow?
Yeah, several times. I've been around for a while. I mean, I am an oldie on SSMB, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the first one I've been with other folks. I've actually done just 2 self-podcasts, if you will, which I call Hero of Legends Musings. 2 episodes are up on YouTube. Check them if you care. I don't know. But anyways,
they were very good, dude.
You've
I saw them, they were awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's see. Now, how to begin this? Well, why don't we talk about our thoughts on the series to begin with, and then we'll get to our general predictions straight after. Well, who wants to start?
Great. Do you mind if I start?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I started my first time playing Sonic was on a Nintendo GameCube back in 2002. I had a bit of an issue playing video games, and I got very frustrated with them. But eventually, I got the GameCube, and I got 2 games, Mega Collection and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and I really got into the series at that point, and I became a big fan. I even like some of the lesser games a lot, like Shadow the Hedgehog. When I was very young, I know I was stupid back then, but whatever. But recently, I wrote a very long retrospective on the series.
I know your retrospectives on NeoGAF and like the site you run with. Oh, how do you pronounce his name? Matera or what do you?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Montana.
Montana. Yeah, and you've basically done retrospectives on basically every Sonic game ever released, and you do a great job.
Thanks, man. Honestly, the retrospective I had the most fun making was on Sonic Chronicles and Sonic Genesis because I hate those games.
So yeah, shout out to just to give a quick shout out to RK164, who is RK128 on NeoGAF. Look up his retrospectives on Sonic, Mega Man, and I think you said you're doing Crash at some point. Or haven't? Or you actually have already, haven't you?
Oh man, I kind of I have to sit down and think of it. I did a full retrospective series on Sonic. I've almost done for Ratchet and Clank 1. I don't have a PS4, so I can't play that game yet. I did Mega Man. I covered a lot of games so far. I'm not done yet with that one. I started a Spyro one, but I didn't get very far in it. I just recently launched one on Kingdom Hearts, and I got a lot of Crash ones done on Crashy News because I don't really feel happy posting them on NeoGAF. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, Crash.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Crash's reception, like, it's weird. Like, I definitely know that Crash is a pretty awesome franchise. My first Crash game was Wrath of Cortex on GameCube. And, like, basically whenever Crash is mentioned on GAF, it's like, Crash is never Crash sucks. He's like, he was never good and all that, and like, I never got to play the Naughty Dog games, but I know damn well that they were a pretty awesome series. And I actually platinumed Jak and Daxter 1 earlier this year, actually, for the first time. My first ever Sony Platinum game.
Nice, man. That's a really good platinum.
Yep, I got all the precursor orbs and power cells, and it was quite difficult. I didn't look up any videos or whatever of like a guide or anything, except for one, and that was the first level of the game where you're in the forest. I had so much trouble finding the last couple of precursor orbs. Turns out they were in that boss plant. I never jumped on its head to get the remaining ones.
I actually missed that, and I actually beat the game. And never encountered that guy, or when I went back to get the platinum on my PlayStation 3, I just found that. That's tricky to find out.
I know.
So you're not alone.
Yeah.
You should never trust the plants. Never.
No, never. They eat you.
They make you rage.
Exactly.
And in the case of Aaron.
So yeah, I've actually I started a bit of Jak 2 already. I've actually played basically almost a little bit of every single of the Sony Trinity, as I like to call it, Jak, Ratchet, and Sly. I really dig Sly 4 right now.
Sly 4 is, you know what, that Sly 4 is the sole reason why I have so much trust in the 3DS Sonic Boom games, because they know when something is messed up in a game, they really go out of their way to fix it. Mm-hmm. Because whatchamacallit, Sly 3 had personally, it's my least favorite.
Arcade? Oh, there you go.
Honestly, I think we can all make this comparison. It's basically Sonic Adventure done wrong, if that makes sense. So,
wow.
But I'm not saying Sly 3 is bad. I like the game a lot. Just the focus was so removed from Sly that it kind of soured the game for me. But Sly 4 did everything right. So with Sonic Boom, Fire, and Ice, I have a very strong feeling that Sanzora is going to take the lessons people encourage with Shattered Crystal and make a really damn good game with Fire and Ice.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Hi, welcome to Hero Legends Sony Trinity podcast. You could switch gears there.
I'm really sorry.
we went off course.
Of course.
That's where we crash and burn, guy.
Let's drop the whole PlayStation thing.
But
I
yeah,
love Sonic. Move on.
But yeah, it's actually I was actually going to mention that in sort of like Sly 4 was by Sanzero Games, who are underway, finishing at this point, Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice for 3DS, which might actually be the first Sonic Boom game done right.
I think Shattered Crystal was pretty decent, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's like a lot of oddities with the game, like that horrible 100% ending with the dance or whatever it is.
Yep.
And like the character models look really weird. Like, why does Knuckles look like he's like a chipmunk with nuts stuffed in his cheeks?
I haven't seen this.
He's Buffles.
Let's see this now.
Buffles the enchilada.
Exactly.
It's adorable. I like Boom Knuckles. He's cute.
I like Boom Knuckles too.
I like Knuckles' design of Sonic Boom. I think that he's like the muscles, like goofy character, and it kind of matches his personality in the Boom cartoon.
I thought your middle name was The.
What?
Referencing that line where Sonic was like, oh god, what was it? Charisma is my middle name, and then Knuckles is like, I thought your middle name was The.
Sonic, my favorite moment in Sonic Boom was when a realistic Sonic popped up when Sonic was dreaming.
Oh, I didn't see. I don't think I saw that one yet.
It was when Sonic was. It was like the Roger Craig Smith was wearing a Sonic suit, holding a trash bag. It's like, oops, or something.
No, I didn't see that one yet.
Okay, I'm not to interrupt, but I'm watching the dance scene right now, and oh my god, what is this? It's like the boomerang stick to sticks too, which is hilarious.
I really think Sanzo just threw that in the last moment, like, we need something to give people a reward for beating our game. Okay, let's have all our character models randomly move around like robots. Yeah, that'll work.
Quick, let's use the remaining budget to make a pretty garbage 100% thing rather than use it to add more polish to the game. Stat!
Exactly.
But just copy and paste. You just copy and paste the same animations for like 5 minutes.
Yep. I guess that since we're on Sonic Boom, I guess maybe we should kind of talk about what we think about the Boom sub-series and stuff before talking about what we want from the anniversary.
Well, for me,
we haven't really.
I thought we were all supposed to talk. Everybody was supposed to talk about like what kind of what they thought about the series.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
one
veered
person
off
did
course.
Yeah, like
RK
did his introduction. Well, what about Meek? You go next.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. Alright. I started the Sonic series slightly late, and my first game was Sonic 06.
Oh no!
My parents got me Sonic 06. And I remember, like, when I got it, they would play the game with me, and I saw Sonic, and I really liked him, and that's how I got into the series.
I think you're one of the only people that would say Sonic 06 was my first Sonic game, and I ended up loving the series.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Like, when I say, like, oh, Sonic 06 was my first game, they'll be like, how are you a Sonic fan?
It's better than Sonic Genesis being your first game.
You're not a real Sonic fan. You're just a poser.
It's actually funny, because in Japan, Sonic 06 is popular there, but in America, it's not.
Yeah, can you imagine?
It's popular there?
I can kind of see it.
Can you imagine if Sonic Genesis was your first Sonic game, and you'd be like, the Genesis, the one on Sega Genesis is wrong. The fidgets is all wrong. What kind of garbage is this?
First.
The slow
That's how
down the game.
Funny thing is, that's how I felt like when I first played Sonic 4. Sonic 4 was my first 2D game, and then when I played the other ones, they were all boring compared to Sonic 4.
You can't walk
I
through
think you just
loop-de-loops,
installed it
don't
like
you?
every classic band in one fell swoop.
I mean, of course, the Genesis originals are wrong. You can't stand on the side of a wall. What kind of trash is that?
And I've always like been optimistic about Sonic. I mean, like now on Sonic Stadium, I'm a lot more cynical, but I'm still optimistic about Sonic. I really like the Sonic series, and the thing I really like are the games. I like how like most of the games have like passion in them. I like the modern games because they're a lot of fun. Because those are the games I started out with, but I really like them a lot.
Oh, we're all entitled to opinions, so I can't really like say you're wrong because there's no fact.
True. I mean, there are objectively bad games, but still.
Well, that's opinionated too. I mean, there is some bad games, but people have opinions on
What about you? Oh, sorry. You want? I was just wondering if we wanted to pass it on to Crow, or do you have more, Meek?
No, I'm just saying it was kind of hard to post my Sonic opinions because there's a lot of opinions that are considered wrong and right. Mm-hmm. So it was like kind of scary to do that, but I got used to it.
Honestly, when it comes to the Sonic series, it's best to have an open mind because Sonic has so many incarnations, changes, styles, etc. That it's not one thing; it's many things.
I think the problem. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Basically, my end point is Sonic is so varied and different that it's really hard to be like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, when it's the series doesn't have a cohesive single thing because there's so many different styles.
It has what I like to call an identity crisis.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, it's just like at least you know what you can say. It's not Mega Man. It's better than nothing.
Oh my!
You got your
Sonic Twitter.
I mean, you got your Mega Man, you got your Mega Man X, you got Mega Man EXE, you got
Mega Man Zero, Mega Man Walnut,
Zero, Mega Man Star Force,
Legends.
Legends, yes, and that weird thing that calls itself Mighty Number 9.
Wait, that's not Mega Man. That's an original character.
Donut Steel.
Exactly.
You know what?
I have to give you the applause. Standing ovation.
Hey, remember what Hideki Kamiya said? Inafune is not a creator; he's a businessman.
Well, good businessmen make good games though. But Mighty Number 9 is a good. I have to play more of it.
I think Inafune's problem is that he was a great producer at Capcom. He's just downright terrible when doing his own indie thing.
It's not even that. It's Soul Sacrifice and Soul Sacrifice Delta, 2 games he had a part in.
That's true, yeah.
They're very solid, so I just think he focused more. Mighty Number 9 is going to be a big IP, and we're going to do everything with it. He's going to be our Mega Man. And instead of thinking, wait, we have to make a game. We have to make it a good game, right? No, we're going to throw everything to make this one thing, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, it's all a team effort, and I think the Kickstarter was heavily overpromised, and they probably were too ambitious. Like for one thing, why the hell did they go with Unreal Engine 3 for the game? It made no sense. Number 2, Inti Creates were a pretty great developer of the GBA and the DS with like the Mega Man games. Like they were behind Mega Man Zero, they were behind Mega Man ZX. What else? They did a few things here and there, but that's where their name got big. And then all of a sudden they try to go like make a big multi-plat console game, and I think that's really they're stretching themselves too thin. And also, how many projects are they working on at once? Mighty Number 9, Bloodstained. They were the Gunvolt series, and other.
They're working on Red Ash.
Are they behind? No, they're not doing Red Ash.
Making that.
That's by Hyde. That's by Hyde. HYDE Hyde. And
I just assumed I'm stupid when it comes to
understandable, but what else? Yeah, and they also did like small 3DS games here and there. Like they did Pac-Man: The Ghostly Adventures 3DS, the first one. They did that little yellow dinosaur that's like Agumon, like he's called Gon something by Bandai or something. You have to look it up.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
They did that as well.
Inti Creates also made a Vita game called Galgun.
Yes. I mean, I
actually have that. That's okay.
They have their hands in so many different projects, and no wonder that they're not doing very well right now in terms of quality. I mean, I think...
I guess we'll find out with Azure Gunvolt 2 if their quality is consistent.
Yeah, but I think that's only because they're doing it small, where they're 2D sprites, and that's their forte, like they did with Zero and ZX. And also, they probably don't need a big team for that. But I think, Mighty Number 9 and whatnot, that's just like... That was made on, 5 or 6 platforms, and I don't think Bloodstained is going to turn out that well. I mean, it looks promising, I guess, but...
No, I think Bloodstained... In order to avoid us going on to topic further, I'll just say Bloodstained. That I have a lot of hope for, because the recent demos and stuff released so far indicate the art is close. That was announced is very close to the end game. It's being led by. It's not led by concept. It's being led by someone who made many Castlevania titles.
Oh yeah, like Iga himself.
Yep, and the fact that they actually have Arpenture, who is made up of former Metroid Prime developers, making the Wii U and Vita versions.
Yep,
and putting Unreal Engine 4 by themselves to those systems.
I know.
Means that I'm sorry. Basically, I have confidence in that one.
I know, it's pretty wild that they're actually attempting to get Unreal 4 on Wii U. I mean, I wish them the best of luck. It's just something that should have happened 4 years ago. You know what I mean? By the time this is out, the NX will have already been out. So, and when that happens, all attention's going to be on the NX, and the Wii U is basically going to be left in the dust. It just feels like it's years too late for the Unreal Engine 4 to be shoehorned onto the Wii U, as impressive as a feat it is.
I think it's going to be really impressive on Vita, because how the heck can you make it on, put it on Vita?
This is a bad idea. Why? Because the first Mortal Kombat game on Vita ran on Unreal Engine 3, and it was shite.
No, it looked like crap. It actually ran pretty well. Same with Injustice, and so I think Unreal Engine can be okay on Vita. It's the developer that works with it.
Funny story.
I
got the PlayStation TV for Danganronpa, but I digress.
Oh, that's cool. I heard great things
like,
about Danganronpa.
Yeah, so I'm just digressing now. So, anyways.
By the way, we never moved to you, Crow, about your Sonic history.
Oh boy, it's a long history, by the way. So get comfy. So this is going to be kind of a big SSMB kind of history lesson too, because I've been around since 2008, and so yeah, I can't remember if I was there earlier. Because of so many server wipes now, I don't even remember when I exactly joined the site. So basically, I started with Sonic, like pretty much everyone else, with Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube. I was like, holy shit, this is the best game ever. I wanted to share it to the world. I wanted to become like a Sonic artist and everything. It was like, Sonic's awesome. And so, I mean, like, I knew Sonic back then because they were showing cartoons of him. Always loved, like, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog because that show is hilarious. But now when I look at it, it's still hilarious, but for different reasons.
But it's honestly a very funny show because it's basically Sonic's take on Ren and Stimpy in some ways.
Robotnik is hilarious.
I know.
I just can't. I can't hate the character. He's just my favorite thing ever.
Are you talking about I Hate That Hedgehog Dude?
Yeah.
Yes.
The original Robotnik by Long John Baldry. May he rest in peace.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that show.
I love that show, but
Yeah.
I digress. That was in the past, and like I actually did see. I do have a picture of little me, meeting Mascot Sonic, but I have to find it somewhere. I know it's somewhere on my photo bucket, but I have to look. So, anyways, I digress again. Sorry, I'm rambling here. And so I've stuck with the series ever since, and I only joined after around the Shadow the Hedgehog hype, and I was like, this looks pretty cool, man. And I'm like, this is going to be a cool game, and it's a guilty pleasure of mine. But you know,
where's that damn 4K assembled?
You know what? Shadow the Hedgehog is one of my favorite games. I like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a funny game. The dialogue is funny.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
It's a guilty pleasure.
For me, the level design isn't that bad to me, and I actually think that if the controls weren't like you're sliding on soap, I think, and they kind of made the guns look similar to like how Ratchet and Clank works. We can have a gun, like a whole selection of the guns. You can have a strafing, and they kind of made the whatchamacallit. It could have been a great game. The problem was, I don't know.
It was rushed.
It's exactly.
It was Sonic rushed.
Sonic rushed.
And that came out the same year.
Same day.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Funny thing is, I was hyped through the roof for Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, it came out it was coming out at the right time in my life where I was sort of like into that. I wanted to get into that more grown-up, edgy stuff, and you know, it just sounded like the coolest thing ever. Like Shadow having a gun and everything would be like all dark and moody and whatnot. And like, I was hoping for something like where in SA2, like when Shadow fights the Bio Lizard, and it's very dark, and how the music, the song supporting me is very atmospheric and very, well, dark sounding. I wanted something like that for the full game, if you know what I mean.
I get
but
that. The
we got
track was great.
But But we got laughable instead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
What happened?
What happened?
I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
Okay, so I'm just saying we're just talking over each other. That's all. I'm just saying that like Shadow the Hedgehog could have been like a cool dark story, but all of it comes laughable. Like it's like take candy from a baby. Who writes that?
And I like how Shadow karate chops Eggman.
Yeah.
That's funny.
100 times.
Goodbye, Doctor. And Eggman's like, no! That's literally how he says.
It reminds me of that moment in Big's Fishing Adventure when Knuckles says, "At least my game only has one good ending. That's 13."
Big
That's how many
Fishing Adventure 3 is
endings,
amazing.
So,
You
if you don't mind, I'm going to move on with the history lesson of Crow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, I always thought like Sonic has been a good thing, and then up to the point where I joined SSMB, it was like a totally different story for me. Like I didn't know how to react to anything because everything was changing for me all of a sudden. I was scared of the mods; they're like gods to me. Like I remember when Aoi was on staff too. I was like, oh wow, now she isn't. I remember when Sean has been on staff for a while too, and now he's been on and off about that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And like I even remember the Party and Fluff forum. That's how bad it was. I'm like, I even posted in there like, I might as well. And so yeah, I'm an old bee, and so I've gone through different phases. I've went through different names myself. I used to be known as. You're going to laugh at this, Captain Way.
Well, your Skype name is well, can I say it? I don't want to.
Go ahead. I don't care.
It's Zombie Lover Way, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that was a different time. It was a different time, and so like I've gone through different names, and I decided to stick with Crow for some reason because it sticked. I don't know why. I just thought it was kind of a unique name because. The old cat's bullet in the back was kind of hilarious.
Actually, I remember that.
So, if you're wondering the big origin of the name, just to clarify, it's from a random like off-put line from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds where like Crow Hogan is like, "Oh, I'm Crow the BOOLET," somehow or something like that, and so he seemed to take pride in the name. And so the reason why Bullet isn't spelled like. You know how you think because I like Team Fortress 2, and so is the heavy pronounces bullet like bullet, and so I spell it like how a Russian would pronounce it. So now you know.
That's cool.
Well, your name's awesome, man.
So,
I actually like your name.
It's kind of embarrassing knowing the history about it now because now the character's back in Arc 5 and I can't say, hey, I'm Crow the BOOLET, and now I'm stuck with this character that no one likes because he takes the spotlight all the time.
Here, speaking of your history, I want to know just one thing. How come so many times on the forum you're always typing up in caps like you're just screaming at everything?
Oh,
that and you're always talking in third person.
Yeah, exactly.
I, for the life of me, don't even remember how that started. It just happened, okay?
Because it's funny because I think someone posted a link to a video, Sir Raven from Billy and Mandy, and that's you in a nutshell.
That show's amazing.
He's like, do not cry for him. Do not cry!
Oh, man. That show is awesome.
I just don't know how it happened. It just did. And I'm just like screaming, boos all the time. I had so many catchphrases over the years, too. Like before, like, SSMB, this is a real-life catchphrase. I used to shout out big booby porn all the time.
What?
And I did it because it was just so funny, and everyone loved it. And only reason why I stopped is because I'm out of high school now, and so years later, I got like different catchphrases like Metal Gear because I love Metal Gear, and obviously Boo is because why not? I just don't know how it happened, but it just did, and now I'm an SMB personality. Not really something I should be bragging about, but
I like your personality. I like it.
Me too.
oh, well, I try. I try to please. I've been trying to tone it down a bit because lately I haven't been feeling like I've been getting so much respect lately, and so I kind of want to be known for more things too. So
Yeah. I mean, like when I first met, like you, when I saw you, yeah, I thought you were like respected. So
yeah, I am, but like I don't know. I don't feel like I'm popular as I used to. But then again, that's
which
probably
is okay. Which is okay.
I honestly don't care about popularity or like what other people think of me. That's now I usually think. I blame my influences on that. So yeah. So yeah, my influences besides Sonic are bands, by the way. So
Yeah.
like
oh, sorry. Go on ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just rambling now. Like I
Yeah.
do have like a kind of more sarcastic outlook, mostly because of Peter Steele from the band Type of Negative. He was always like has this dark humor about things. Like he would get away with saying like all kinds of stuff that you shouldn't really say. Like they're really like sarcastic things. I just say like I can't think of a good example, but I remember in one of his songs where he's doing a fake live, he was like, you say we suck. You say we suck. You pay $15, 50 American dollars. Say we suck. So he was a real fool now, or something like that. It was just hilarious. He's like, he always has like a depreciating like sense of humor. I keep saying that, but it's true. And like, he's my major influence, I should say. I mean, he's kind of a recent influence for me, but still. I've always been influenced by Mana from Mala's Miser, and that's a different band. And so he never like really speaks. He only like messed up like what, one time? That's about it. But he's a pretty cool guy, and he did a lot of things for the J-rock scene, pretty much. Like, he was the one who introduced the Gothic Lolita scene to the mainstream public, if you wanted to know some fun trivia. And so, yeah, I don't know, he just really influenced my more visual kind of things.
That's
That makes
cool.
sense. So, I'm rambling on about not Sonic. I'm boring our viewers or listeners.
No, it's like when I first. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
I was gonna say, like, when I first like joined. Well, first I was on the Sega forums before I was on Sonic Stadium, and the Sega forums just ran like a lot differently than Sonic Stadium.
I hear it's terrible.
Because there are threads like, "Oh, what do Sonic characters do in the bathroom?" or something like that. And then I went to Sonic Stadium, and no one's making threads like that, and I decided to join. And that's I joined the thread as Sonic because I was unoriginal. I was young. I was a foreigner, and in a forum with Americans and British people, and I was like, I didn't know what to do, but I really liked Sonic. I wasn't always a cynic. I mean, I was like an optimist, like all the way back then. I thought the Sonic was the greatest series ever. And yeah, I thought that all the games were awesome, and I thought that, like, for example, like Sonic Generations was the greatest thing ever. I don't know why I did, but I like it. But lately, like, the more I learn about the series, the more kind of my opinions change. They're the same, but it's kind of hard, like, when you expect the worst, but it's not gonna happen. I don't know.
No, I understand. But then there's
a lot of Sonic fans that say, "Oh, damn cynics! They ruined Sonic." which is always not the case.
You know, speaking of cynics and all that, shouldn't the franchise be called Cynic the Hedgehog?
Sinnohs. What about Sinnohs?
Exactly.
So, you're probably where I'm getting with all this. I'm going to probably conclude this now because I think I've been rambling on for too long. So, as you can tell, I've been with the series for a long time, and as you notice, I've been talking about different things that aren't Sonic, and so that makes you think I don't have an interest in Sonic anymore. And it's kind of true because I'm kind of here on SSMB as kind of the artifact because I don't know where else to go. I've been on the Sega forums for a year, and well, it has been an interesting year, and I have made some really interesting friends, and I really value their friendship and everything, but I digress. I've been on SSMB longer, and I have history with that, so I don't feel like going. And so, the thing is that I'm pretty optimistic about things, too, and so I'm kind of hoping to see a new Sonic game either way. I have my ideal Sonic game I want to see, but I don't care if I don't see it as long as I get a good game from it. I think everyone else feels the same way at this point. But
I'm in the same camp too, man.
You know what? No one should blame anyone for feeling down in the dumps about the series. I mean, let's face it, the last couple of years have not been good for the franchise. I mean,
exactly.
We haven't had a Sonic Team game since Lost World, and even that was kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
Lost World was cool, but it was objectively it was mediocre, but I thought it was cool. But go ahead.
I mean, it was original for the series, but even then, it just felt so, what's the word? Half-baked? It felt like the whole concept was just to throw shit on the wall, see what sticks, and give it half a budget and put it on a disc, and that was it. It was nowhere near the level of the budget and care that Generations had, and that's the problem.
I think the issue with Lost World is that I don't own a Wii U, so I never played the Wii U version. But from what I saw a lot of playthroughs of the Wii U game, it feels like they designed X amount of traditional stages where Sonic can run, use the parkour system, but they had these gimmicks like Sonic in a snowball, a worse version of pinball, Sonic running down a beehive for no reason, Sonic flapping his wings like a Flappy Bird. I mean, none of those are horrible from what I saw. They felt like they look like they control fine. But that isn't what people got the game for. They got the game for Sonic. And that's an issue that the series kind of had with the adventure games and 06 and some other titles where it kind of didn't focus on one specific thing. And the reason why Generations, and in my personal opinion, Unleashed worked so well is because the two styles were polished enough where you felt like, okay, I'm having a lot of fun with both of these. Unleashed, of course, I'm probably dead wrong with, but regardless.
Well, to be honest with you, Sonic Lost World felt like it was going in so many different directions, and the fact that it was Nintendo exclusive was pretty bad. Because I think they were mostly trying to get pander to Mario fans, from what I heard. Nintendo fans in general, so that's why they create everything is spear. Okay, we're gonna do the whole snowball thing, but yeah, I think they were going in too many different directions.
Just before we move on a bit, I noticed that I didn't actually get my own history input so far. I wouldn't mind.
I apologize for taking all your time.
Oh, no worries.
I'm sorry I rambled too much.
Oh no worries.
Sorry.
That's okay. This is our first podcast together, and I wanted to give everyone a chance to speak. I may be the one. It may be my podcast with my fingers, quote unquote, but I want to give everyone a fair amount of time. You know what I mean?
I understand.
I just want to say I have pretty interesting opinions about Lost World, but I'll say that for the predictions part because it kind of ties in with that.
Mm-hmm. But anyways,
I'll just leave it at that.
Sorry. Anyways,
no, I'm just.
Anyways, for my story, my first Sonic game, just like with Arcade, was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on GameCube. And, like, I was immediately hooked. I mean, when I first played City Escape and the Chow Garden right after, it just, like, wow, this is, like, one of the most incredible things I've ever played. And I just, like, the Chow Garden was just immensely addictive, and soon after, Mega Collection came out, like, literally just a couple months later, and I was, like, I really liked the classic games, and for the one I played the most by far was Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as like any Sonic fan would have. And I also did get a kick out of 3D Blast when I played a bit of it. But the thing is, like, whenever I tried to play most of the classic games, because they were so hard and you couldn't exactly do a whole lot in a single run through, I don't think Mega Collection had save files for Sonic 1 and 2, and I think 3 Knuckles and 3 and Knuckles all had save files. I know 3 and Knuckles did, but I just cheesed it and used the debug mode and just like unlocked Super Sonic as soon as I found out about the tricks in the Tips and Tricks magazine. And yeah, and that's where I got most of my fun with in those earlier games. And of course, getting the Super Emeralds and all that, and unlocking the Hyper Forms in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That was pretty awesome. And I remember seeing the History of Sonic video in it, and that's where I got to see Sonic Adventure 1 for the first time, and I was like so hoping it would come to GameCube, and sure enough, a year later it did. And I rented it as soon as it came out, and I was immediately hooked again. So eventually, let's see here. I started browsing Sonic Stadium back around I think it was 03 or 04, and I just was like keeping tabs on everything Sonic, what games were coming out and whatnot. I didn't join the forum until around 06 or 07, and little did I know that in 2014 I would be hired as a writer. That was just so mind-blowing that I was given the opportunity to do that, because I really wanted to do work on a game site for so long, like contribute in some way, like show people that I could give something to the community as well. And so far, I've made quite a number of articles. Who's doing the rubbing?
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
That was me.
Anyways.
Sorry.
So, it's okay. So anyways, yeah, since last 2 years, I've done lots and lots of articles. I just put up one, actually, a couple today. Most prominently is the one where Jason Griffith's like final video of showing his performance as Sonic, doing like a half-hour narration of Toonzai's Fall 2010 lineup, and it is pretty damn interesting to watch. I mean, you hear Sonic talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, was it that one?
Yes.
That makes too much sense.
And by the way, Piccolo's a Saiyan just like Raditz.
Is Piccolo a pickle? Because it's in his name.
Is he a pickle because he's green?
Sorry, Jason. I love you.
Jason? Oh, never mind.
But yeah,
never mind. Where was I? Yeah, the articles. And one thing I've noticed that I don't know if a whole lot of people caught on. I think I've done every single article about a new game announcement since I was hired. I'm not kidding. If you look up every single new game announcement, the Boom article, the Boom unveiling, the Runners unveiling, the Fire and Ice unveiling, the 3D Sonic 1 and 3D Sonic 2 unveiling, I think I did all those. I did the.
That means you just do a great job, man. And they just wanted you to write the announcement articles.
Yeah, it's just a lot of times I manage to make sure I do it first or whatever. Like, obviously, it's no secret that I focus strictly on Nintendo-related content. I think all of you have noticed by now.
Let me check. I need to fact check this.
Like, if you look through my article history, 9 out of 10 articles will be something Nintendo-related.
Well, to be fair, Sonic has been Nintendo only for since 2014.
Oh yeah.
So
well, 2013 technically, but not just that. Like a lot of other, like I don't write about Summer Sonic. I don't write about Steam stuff except for like that one time I decided to write one up about a sale just because. Like I don't do the comics. That's VEDJF's work. And, like, basically, I just focus on whenever there's something Nintendo-related announced, like a new game, like, a sale going on the eShop, anything related to developments relating to Nintendo systems, like, that's where my focus is. That's all I really want to do on the site. But, of course, I'll do other things, like, the Jason Griffith bit before. That's legit amazing. But, other than that...
Yeah, I've noticed you've done quite a bit here, but this is the first time I've actually like really looked at the front page, and this is the first time I've heard of this Hello Kitty like Sonic plush. I'm like, I need it.
Yeah, like that was announced quite a bit ago, and it's cute. It's cute.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't I pay attention to this before? You should report this, not like father. Come on, get fast, man, get fast.
Me?
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, get fast.
You gotta go fast.
I don't see the point of me reporting on making articles of things I'm not that interested in. Like, I don't want to do a sloppy job just to get it on the site. I only want to do articles of stuff I'm legit invested in. Like, that's really where what you should be doing. Is that
I completely understand that.
Like, just
Because when you do things you're interested in, you're bound to write better articles.
Exactly. And in fact,
that's fair enough.
I want to, at least a minor shout out to myself. I made numerous articles, like editorial articles, where I did like my proudest work is my Sonic's History with Nintendo article, and it took me like quite a few days to get all the information and write down about every single game that ever released on the Nintendo system, and it's huge. It's like the biggest thing I've ever done on the site, and it's just, I hope it got quite a bit of attention. I don't know. Quite a bit of people commented in it, so it must have. But yeah, I mean,
I think you did a great job on that one, because the image of Sonic, the guy in the Sonic and Mario costumes, and I can't remember the name of the new Nintendo president, but him just being there and watching them shake hands, I never saw that before you brought it up.
The one with oh god, Tatsumi Kimishima.
Yes, I think that's his name.
Yeah,
I never saw that before.
I know. Like, this didn't come up until, like, just about a few months ago or something, where Kimishima, when he was the president of Nintendo of America, was the one who greeted Sonic to Nintendo way back in 2002, and it's just, like, the most mind-blowing thing in retrospective that the president of Nintendo today knew, like, had that kind of know-how or whatever about Sonic being at Nintendo at the time, and, like, it's just seeing that picture from, 14 years ago. And that just, to me, what makes me wonder if maybe he knows Sonic's importance to the Nintendo ecosystem almost more than anyone. Like, maybe not as Iwata, because Iwata was the one who was the brainchild of, as they say, of the exclusivity deal, I would imagine. Because he was the one who announced it back in May 17th, 2013 in the Nintendo Direct.
I thought it was really interesting that Nintendo got involved in DLC with Zelda and Yoshi.
To me, those were the best levels in the game. They should have just made Lost World nothing but Nintendo-related levels. That would have been so cool. Can you imagine Sonic like going through like a Mario level, a DK level, a Pokemon level, or something like that?
Or even like Mega Man. That would be fun.
But Mega Man's not part of Nintendo.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, he's not.
No.
But I wish they put the Zelda DLC for Steam.
No,
that was nice.
I would actually dig a DK level. I would dig a DK level because we can make all the dong jokes. All the dong jokes.
No, Yankee Kang.
Yankee King. He collects those rings.
But yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, if you want the Zelda level in Lost World, just wait for someone to mod it into the PC version. They're going to do it eventually, I'm sure. Leave it to the modders.
Someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the modders will, like, do like basically anything they put their minds to. I don't doubt the limits of. I don't see limits of or any limitations of the modding community. They could do anything they put their mind to.
Like playing Professor Pickle in Sonic Generations.
Exactly. I mean, they
or Pele the beloved dog in Sonic 06.
Alright. I think that's enough of my portion of, like, my history. Someone else talking, or am I hearing things?
I think you might be hearing things. I'm actually outside in the hall of my room.
Maybe
because
I'm just
my
maybe I'm hearing something from your background or something, Crow, because I just heard some kind of like additional background thing. It might have been you or like your from your end or something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm out in the hall.
Oh, no worries.
So
no worries.
there might be a slight echo here.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Let's see. Do we want to get to the predictions now? I mean, we've already been talking for 50 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the whole dang point of the podcast.
We're just having fun talking, and that's probably why.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, GG, guys.
I basically titled it as a predictions, but yeah, it's true. It's not really the whole point, like we're getting there, but it's just to have fun talking about why we love Sonic and all that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shall we get to the predictions, or is there anything else you want to cover before we do that?
Let's do the predictions. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Let's do predictions for now, then, because yeah, I'll say my piece later because I'm a little awkward standing out here in the hall and not in my room. So,
who should go first? Me, someone else, or?
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
So, like, what are my predictions for Sonic? Like, how do I think the series is gonna go, or something?
Well, let's see. Like, I want us to predict what is gonna first happen in the event tomorrow, and maybe his future as a whole. Yeah, but you can go in any order you want. Just whatever you're comfortable with.
All right. About the event, I think they're gonna like announce like Sonic merchandise and talk a little bit more about Fire and Ice and about Sonic Boom and the Archie comics.
Mm-hmm.
And they did say about a game, so I'm curious to see what game this is. Because everybody keeps on saying, leak the game!
I know.
and I'm like, hold on. I mean, this is what happens when they rush a Sonic game. You get games like Sonic 06.
Mm-hmm.
I will not deny that Sonic 06 was supposed to be epic, but the fact that it was rushed is like
I
So,
know.
sorry. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, but it had more problems than just being rushed. I mean, like the story and whatnot. I don't know if more time in development would have fixed that, would it?
And I also felt like in the future Sonic might go like either way, depending on how the fans feel. Like if Sega doesn't give the fans what they want, then no one's really going to be a Sonic fan anymore. Of course, I'll still be here, but a lot of people are not really going to be Sonic fans. I mean, you know, when I joined Sonic Stadium, like for example, a lot of people were Sonic fans, but those same friends of mine aren't Sonic fans anymore because of the direction of the series. So I just feel like, because a lot of people are wanting a new 2D game with rolling physics, and I feel that if Sega doesn't give them that proper rolling physics, then no one's really going to be a Sonic fan. And so it can be a hit or miss for this podcast. And if they don't reveal a game, then people are going to go crazy.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm just going to say this. People are not going to be happy regardless of what is announced tomorrow, because Sonic represents so many different things to people. His name has such a toxic reputation online.
Yep.
Not everyone's going to be happy with the announcement, regardless on whatever it is. It could be the classic Sonic game everyone wants, another Sonic Adventure game, a Generations 2. It's not going to make everyone happy. If anything, Sonic's going to get more hate and toxicity online after the announcement, and it's going to be, Sonic Cycle this, or blah blah blah. But what Sega needs to do is make sure the next game is high quality, fun, and impressive. Sonic needs to impress people again, because if he doesn't impress people again, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I do, and a lot of people do feel like if they make a Sonic Adventure 3, then it's going to bring the series back. But the thing is that Sonic Adventure 3 is a hit or miss. Remember Sonic 4 when they said, oh, this is the game where you've been waiting 16 years for, but then they decided to make it into Sonic Rush. I mean, I like the game, but I can understand why other people don't like it, because it's not as advertised. So if Sonic Adventure 3 comes out, it better be as advertised, or else.
I do want to talk about this topic, but I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my charger. I'm going to mute my microphone so you don't pick up background noise. But I'll be right back. I swear.
No worries.
I have interesting things to say, so be right back.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if we should continue on without Crow at the moment, because in case he misses anything.
Alright.
How's the weather?
It's dark.
It's
Stormy?
nighttime.
Well, it's nighttime.
It's nighttime here.
Same nighttime here too.
So is it hot where you guys live?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
It's like 37, like it was 37 degrees today.
It's just really, New York is
Celsius. Sorry.
That's okay. New York is really warm.
Yeah. It's basically like it's just been a hot summer so far.
Yeah, it's really hot. I mean, last year it wasn't this hot.
The weather,
But then,
it's all
yeah.
over the place.
You know what's gonna be even hotter?
what?
The Sonic event tomorrow. Aye!
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be so funny to see like Sonic Stadium like go over 100 members
Oh my god! Like I'm not
online.
Tomorrow is gonna be chaotic.
Yeah,
No-
it is.
no-
Even the mods are gonna be chaotic.
Oh god! I mean, just like I don't know how it's gonna go. Like I'm gonna be ready, obviously, to post whatever comes up, but
Yeah.
like
All I have to say is thank goodness I'm not a writer for that event.
I'll tell you, the day Boom was unveiled, it was one of the most exhausting days I've had in recent years. How do I put it? Like when I first put up the article, it was like a few lines long, just saying what we knew, like just it being by like a Wii U and 3DS game by Big Red Button and Sun Zero Games and whatnot, and the other writers had to add to it themselves, because it was my first article, so obviously I was like so unprepared for the chaos I was going to assume, but I managed to get a few of my own things in there in the end, so it's not completely not my article anymore, but still, it's like it was just an exhausting day, like so many edits, so many like just having to be on top of things, and it was like just about the worst time to be a new writer. And I remember there being like an apology or something from the staff, like the higher ups, just saying, "We're sorry we hired you in the middle of this chaos." Like it wasn't their intention. It wasn't their intention. I mean, for one thing, the invitation to that event only came up that day before, the day prior, and it was just like fucking out of nowhere. So how, like, no one was prepared for it, and I don't think anyone expected the kind of divide in the reception to be as it was. I mean, yeah, we saw the teaser of the silhouettes a few months prior, I think, but even then, I mean, just like the game, and it's honestly hard to remember the exact like everything that went on, because I remember like the whole thing was just being leaked. Like Sega didn't even get a chance to actually announce it until like, I don't know, 2 hours after it started leaking. Which is weird, because why didn't they put it up online as soon as like they first did anything? It's like Leak 101. As soon as someone sees something, they're gonna put it up online. And I don't think NDAs are gonna stop some people. So You know,
it was likely back then. I think it was likely a PR issue where the Sega PR staff were really busy and hectic, interviewing everyone, trying to get all the information straight. But at the same time, people were so excited, or they wanted to talk about the event and all that. That's when all the information came flooding in, I would imagine.
Yep.
Oh, I'm back, by the way.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
So, I guess I didn't miss much, huh?
We didn't.
No.
We decided to just pause things and wait for you to come back. I didn't want us to move on to the big things without you. You're part of the team.
Exactly.
I guess I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess can I make my prediction now, because it pretty much was stated before, so...
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead, man.
So, like, okay, so I am also expecting more news on Fire Nights, obviously. I feel like they're going to be talking about Sonic's history for a while, but,
Hey guys,
Can I
remember the Genesis games? We haven't taught that in since yesterday. Hey guys, we're bringing Sonic back to his roots. I'm sorry. Go on.
I have my thoughts on.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go on. Go on.
But, anyways, this is a disclaimer, a giant disclaimer. I'm not really for this, but I kind of see some evidence for it, and this might shatter the world.
What?
This might shatter the world. It might cause apocalyptica, whatever.
Sonic Adventure 3.
It might.
Yep.
It might blow up half the moon.
So, I'm going to say that Sonic Adventure 3 might be a possibility, despite me not liking it. I don't like the idea of Sonic Adventure 3, so it's like, why am I arguing this? I don't know. I just feel like bringing up a good discussion right now. So, like, okay, so Sonic Adventure 3 has a pretty big fan base right now. They've been a pretty vocal group. They were like, hey, give us Sonic Adventure 3, give us Sonic Adventure 3, Sonic Adventure 3, and all that, right? And so, they're very rapid fanboys, and so we get that Sonic Adventure series has been the most popular series in the Sonic fan base, right? And so, like, I could kind of see him going back to that kind of formula, because it's because of that one certain vocal group that's been clamoring for Sonic Adventure 3 for the longest time. And while you ask that Sonic Adventure 3 isn't relevant because Sonic Adventure 2 was decades ago, but there is a little proof that it isn't. Okay, remember what got kickstarted recently, very, very fast? Shenmue 3. Now it's like a property.
Wait a minute, you think Sonic Adventure 3 is going to be a Kickstarter?
Oh no.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oh, that
I'm just saying in general that. I'm just saying in general that Shenmue 3 became a Kickstarter, and it's a Sega property, and so Sega might have noticed that this was the fastest-selling thing right now because they're promising another addition to Shenmue, and so maybe they could have looked at this and saw Sonic Adventure 2 and decided to continue with this. And so it's a possibility I'm not like talking about, but it's there. But there's the big but. This is the part that you're going to guys like. There's a few things that doesn't point to Sonic Adventure 3, luckily. So, like, the biggest thing is that it seems like the writers do not know much about Sonic's mythos at all, because they've been doing like new games after new games without like much like continuity between the two. Like they reference small little things, but it's not like a drastic continuity like the adventure games do. And so the writers themselves don't really seem to care about Sonic's history, as evidenced between like the lackluster story in Generations and like other games too. Like they did their own story and with continuity, so they don't really care about like Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, what they did. I mean, they kind of acknowledge that the fans really wanted a new Sonic game that was dark, with Sonic Lost World, and you can kind of see it there because like I remember scenes where they were trying to make it seem like a dark story, but you know it really wasn't. And so that's the biggest thing that's really going against it, and it's a really big thing, disproving it.
I would also, I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off for a minute, but I would argue that after Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06, Sonic Team would likely want to stay away from serious stories after the intense backlash they got from those titles.
There's actually
That's
one
another thing too.
There's actually one other thing that might point to it not being SA3. Remember when Aaron Weber posted those pictures of those SA2 concept art folders on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone asked if there are any for Sonic Adventure 3, and he said, no, those do not exist.
Because Sonic Adventure 3 doesn't exist.
Yeah, because that was a pretty
Sonic Advance 3 would exist.
Yep. I was going to make that joke.
Sorry.
Yes. This is Sonic, you have to go fast. Name the game.
You gotta go fast.
If I want to be honest with you,
What?
I actually want a Sonic Adventure 3. Like,
So do
for the
I.
fact that I want like an adventure game. You know, I had like a lot of fun with Sonic Adventure 2, besides Mad Space, but I like Sonic Adventure 2 a lot. I mean, I used to hate it, but now I like it. And
Wow.
and to be honest with you, a lot of people say, oh, Sonic 06 is Sonic Adventure 3. But Sonic 06 is its own game. It was supposed to be a reboot. It's not
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 3. You know, I want something that says Sonic Adventure 3.
Mhm.
You know, like an adventure game. I want a long adventure game like Sonic Unleashed. You know, Sonic Generations was a good game, but it was just too short. That's the problem with it. Like, I
It
could
didn't
finish the
have-
game within 30 minutes
30 minutes.
and not
Yeah.
really go back to it.
It had all the potential, like this epic, like multi-time dimensional thing they had going on. They only showed like classic Tails and classic Sonic, and that was about it. Oh, and classic Eggman, but that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I honestly think Sonic Generations had a lot more story content planned, but it was cut last minute.
Yeah.
It seems like it because like they have the little like side missions too, like with where you team up with characters that Sonic was friends with, right? But again, like I was saying before, the writers don't seem to really care about Sonic's history enough to like really do anything with it. They're just like,
I mean-
hey, it's a Sonic. He does fast.
I mean, yeah, here's some play now. And like, it's like the story's just there to give them an excuse as to why all the stages are put into one airless dimension.
Well,
It's kind of like
here's-
Sonic Freeriders, where they're trying to give you a reason as to why you're racing.
Well, here's the thing too, is that I don't mind if it's just a game, because like that's what I'm here for. I'm here for a game, and I don't mind if it's like a fairly short story. The problem is it's celebrating Sonic. Where do you go wrong with this? I mean, yeah, I'm up for an epic Sonic story, sure, but like, come on, you could have tried. I'm
Yeah.
more of the kind of guy who values gameplay, by the way, because like there's sometimes I feel like cutscenes like drag too long, like in Bayonetta. I mean, I'm going to be hated for just saying this because I feel I was honestly bored watching the first couple of cutscenes of Bayonetta going on because I just wasn't doing anything. I wasn't impressed by what I was watching, and so I was like, I kind of want to have this high over-the-top adventure, and so yeah. But I digress again. Sorry, but like, you have Sonic Generations, you have all this material to make an epic story, and they foreshadow this time meter to be like this awesome, like bad guy who could have done anything, considering he brought back Sonic 06. And it's like,
Yeah.
like you had something here, guys, and I would love to sit through and what you could have done. But the writers,
I would have liked to see them do more with Sonic's friends, though. Because
Yeah.
they were just there just to talk, and the time. Don't get me started on the time meter where there's like, it's a homing shot. That's
my
all
God.
they said.
No, guys.
Honestly, I think what they could have done with Generations was have whatchamacallit, Shadow, classic Tails, and maybe modern Tails and modern Knuckles. Basically, use the character models they had and just let us play as them. because they clearly have Tails being able to fly with classic Sonic in that one side mission. If you remember the Shadow Boss fight, he's essentially modern Sonic. Everything, he could glide on rails, he could boost, he could jump, and I could imagine it not being difficult to rework some animations for Tails, Knuckles, Metal Sonic, etc. to let us play as them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that actually happening. Another thing too is that like they also hype these characters too when they don't have much relevance too. Because remember in the Time Eater cutscene where like Eggman's like, "Oh, I'm Eggman," and like Shadow comes in and it's like, "You got this, Sonic," and delivers the infamous line, right? But that's all he does. It's like he cheers Sonic on. It's like you could have done more. You have the power of chaos. You could have helped. You know what I mean? That kind of goes with the second point where you could have just made more characters playable too. And it's like, it feels like they just kind of didn't care.
It's not that they didn't care, it's that they didn't have extra playable characters outside of the two Sonics because they didn't want the game to get low reviews just because, oh, you can play as Sonic's friends and everyone hates Sonic's friends, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's how you play as them. But that's all. I'll get to that when I talk about my predictions.
That's fine.
You know,
they're still going to get knocked down for having friends either way, because I remember Yahtzee was like, "Oh yeah, they brought back Slime's colorful friends again. Oh joy!" And so he actually kind of was being sarcastic about it because he seemed to enjoy Sonic Colors despite his original backlash against it. But he's like, "Oh, because it was like away from everything else." And so with Sonic's friends back, apparently having them back is like cancer or something. But anyways, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No worries. So I just wanted to say, speaking of generations and then Time Eater, we all know that Time Eater is like the worst Sonic villain of all time. I mean, Perfect Chaos, he just flooded the city. The Biohazard, he just wanted to blow up the Earth. But Time Eater, he brought back Sonic 06.
Oh no!
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that is the worst thing that could possibly happen.
You mean technically spoilers to two Eggmans?
You know, it would be funny if all. I mean, it'll be kind of bad taste now, but if all the Eggmans, like, and Robotniks, like, came back, like Adventure Sonic and like Saturn Sonic, Underground Sonic.
Oh my god!
It's like we got an army. It'll be like that.
Funny.
You know.
Then you'll open the door to have Sonic and his brother and sister play musical instruments to fight the bad guys, and you won't have to hear what Eddie from one of the Eds from Edda and Eddie sing horrible music.
Hey guys, you know with the two Eggmans, they should have had one be Angel Eggman and the other be Deviled Eggman.
Kind of like Eggman's counterpart from Archie Comics with Scourge the Hedgehog, and I think his counterpart was Ken Tolber or something like that.
Yeah, Ken Tolber.
But that would have been cool.
Remember, it's actually just like that old Sonic Dimensions rumor from back in 2012 where it was a Wii U exclusive where Sonic and everyone would be split into multiple personalities, and Eggman was supposed to have a good version and the regular evil version. That actually would have been so much cooler than Lost World.
Maybe that was a concept idea, but they never went through with it.
That's possible. Shame they didn't, though.
Can I say a few good things about Lost World, though?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
I just feel like it had heart at least. It tried to go the right way, but it just tried so much, you know.
Honestly, I think you bring up a really good point because I think from Unleashed onwards, the Sonic series had a lot of heart and ambition across all the games from that point, at least to me, because Unleashed, Black Knight, the racing games, Generations, Colors, Lost World, they all had a lot of personality to them. They had a very thick layer of polish on them, and overall, those games, despite issues like Black Knight has issues, Lost World has issues, but Unleashed has issues, but all the games I feel were games Sonic Team were proud to make.
Yeah, I think so too, honestly. But this brings back this brings up a big problem, though. It's like, what do people expect from Sonic anymore? I mean, they've been giving the only really consistent thing that everyone like really knows Sonic for is like being a really speedy platformer. But everyone seems so divided on what they want. They want Sonic Adventure 3, Sonic 5, new 2D Sonic, new 3D Sonic, Elite 2, etc., etc. You can go on with this. It's like, what exactly do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Can I make my predictions now to cover this stuff?
Sure.
Oh boy, what a segue.
Okay, so I think how the anniversary event's going to go, since it's going to be 4 hours long.
4 hours? Really?
I believe so. I remember reading somewhere that it was going to be last 4 hours long. I could be wrong. But anyways, I think they're going to go over, they're going to have a couple Crush 40, play a bunch of adventure tracks, heroes, etc. I think they recently came out, Lego was going to be present during the Sonic event. So I think they're going to show up Lego Sonic and Lego Dimensions, which I think is a very odd move. Lego and Sonic and Lego, but it makes sense. Traveler's Tales working with Sonic again after all those years.
I know.
I hope Super Sonic
All my friends
Racing,
really hyped for it.
I hope Super Sonic Racing's in there somewhere.
Everyone Super Sonic Racing. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, get that out.
So basically, after they I think someone mentioned a history video. I think there's going to be another history of Sonic video covering more games. The voice actor is going to talk about stuff, but I think what's going to happen regarding game announcements is we're going to be getting two things. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a collection or a remaster of something and a brand new game. The thing that kind of makes me confused is I don't know what type of Sonic each of those are going to fall into. But I think we're going to see something classic related. We're going to see something adventure related. We're going to see something brand new. The thing is, I don't know what they're going to fall into, a new classic Sonic game or a Mega Man Legacy Collection style classic collection. A new modern Sonic game that's open world and has a lot of platforming, or a remaster of Generations with Unleashed levels. A new Sonic Adventure 3, or just HD collection of the adventure games. That's what makes I'm excited about the event, and I hope that something good's going to happen, but I can't pinpoint on exactly what Sonic Team is doing, because Sonic is everything, and whatever you do is not going to make everyone happy. So I think they're going to try to do two things to try to appease as many people as possible.
Yeah, considering we're having a big topic about that, I think you have a point there.
And to be honest with you, if it's like a rehash of the games, I don't think people are going to be really too happy about that. Like, if it's like, oh, it's like a Genesis collection, people are not going to be happy about that because they've been hyped. But then again, it's their fault, but still.
See, the thing is that Sonic has been over-reliant on his past for almost, a decade now? It's like they cannot let go of the Genesis era to the point where everything's got to be inspired or literally ripped from the classic era, like most specifically Green Hill Zone. Like, how many times?
Yeah, how many times do we have to see Green Hill Zone
or Seaside Hill Zone?
I got a question. Do you think there's a high chance of this being open world? Because I think there might be a chance that they might blend Lost World's mechanics and Generations mechanics, but for more open environment. Because I have a feeling this is going to be a NX, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC title, so they're going to have a lot of hardware to play with.
Oh yeah.
This game's been developed for God knows how long. So, I think I have a very good feeling it's going to be. It's basically, at Sonic CD opening, we're going to fondly play that.
You know, I do want a Sonic game that, like, whatever console it decides to be on, I want it to, like, push the power of that console. Like, if it's going to be, like, on the PS4, I want them to push the power of the PS4.
Yep.
Because originally, like, when the Sega Genesis came out, and they did Sonic 1 actually pushed the power of the Genesis. They wanted to show off what the Genesis can do. So I want the Sonic game to actually do the same with the newer consoles.
Just like Unleashed did with the PlayStation 3 and 360, or the same with Generations.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
One thing I would like to see, though, for sure, is the Remember the dynamic lightning from Sonic 06 development?
And the day and night cycle too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, where it's like day and night and all that.
I know.
I would like to see that be a thing.
Me too.
Oh, it was gonna be like a day and night featuring Kingdom Valley.
Yeah, I remember that. That was from TGS 05 when Yuji Naka was demoing the game for the very first time. It looked amazing.
It blew everyone's minds.
The game really got downgraded.
You know, you want to know an interesting tidbit I found out about 06? I think it was from a Giant Bomb. It wasn't an actual article from the writers, but I think it was a contribution article that detailed a lot of the development history or something. It might have been from there, but apparently the director of Sonic 06 in the end, Shun Nakamura, was not the original director of the game. That was actually Yojiro Ogawa, who you might know as the director of Sonic and the Secret Rings. What I think happened was when the team split up, when the Wii mode was unveiled and they didn't think they could port 06 in time for the Wii. When the team split up, I think Ogawa went to the Wii team and worked on Secret Rings, leaving 06 without a director, and instead had Shun Nakamura, who actually directed games like Billy Hatcher, Samba de Amigo, Space Channel 5, I believe. And he was put in charge of the project, and this was obviously, if I had to guess, was probably around early-ish 06, like maybe January or something, like after TGS 05, but before, obviously way before E3 06, when Secret Rings was unveiled. And I think that's one of the big reasons the game just collapsed on itself, was because not only had a change of directors, but the team split in half, and they just didn't think of a way to compensate for that. What the Secret Rings team did very smartly was they hired Now Productions, who helped Sonic Team on Sonic Adventure DX with the mission mode and the original Sonic writers, and had them do the entirety of the party mode, while Sonic Team themselves strictly did the single player mode. Whereas Sonic Team,
that's a really good point.
Exactly, and honestly, I think that's one of the big. It was actually a genius idea. As much as the party game mode isn't really for us, I think it was one of the reasons the game did so bloody well, is because the Wii was a party game machine, and that's all thanks to Rayman Raving Rabbids, which came out right around the same time at launch.
And also WarioWare Smooth Moves,
yeah, Smooth Moves. I actually don't know if that did well or not. It's not like it's not.
I think it came out around launch too.
Yeah, but I don't think it did that well, and Nintendo never talked about it being all that successful, and it disappeared from shelves almost immediately. But anyways, and that's basically, I think, what the split happened in a nutshell with Secret Rings and 06. I still like to think about, to this day, what would have happened if maybe they hired the writers team and Dimps to work on a Wii version of 06 like they did with Unleashed 2 years later. I wonder how that would have turned out. Because
honestly,
you heard this first at TSS News.
Honestly,
sorry, I had to put dice for you.
Okay, I honestly think that what happened with 06 led to what they decided to do with Unleashed, because they knew they had to have a version on the Wii. They knew they had to have it on the biggest possible audience. They figured, heck, let's vote on the PlayStation 2 as well. We can get more sales that way. So that's why I think what you said is a very good point. It allowed Unleashed to have a lot of success on a platforms with large user bases, but at the same time allowed Sonic Team to make the game they wanted to make on PlayStation 3 and 360. Because even though I fully 100%ed the Wii version, I don't know why I did, but I did it. They loved the PS3 version of Unleashed. It's my opinion, one of my favorite Sonic games.
I love the Wii version. I mean, I'm the one who wrote a retrospective on it on the main site. And
I saw it well done.
I also did a retrospective on Zero Gravity for Wii as well, right around the same time. And I think both of them, especially Zero Gravity, are very underrated. Unleashed Wii...
I love Zero Gravity.
Oh yeah, I just did a lawn play of Zero Gravity, just a couple weeks ago. It's on my YouTube channel. But anyways, Unleashed Wii, It's definitely lacking polish. There's even one level in Adabat where the water literally flickers right before your eyes. It really needed more polish. And I actually thought about this over time, like here and there. What would have happened if Sonic and the Black Knight was never greenlit, but instead the team did the Wii version of Unleashed instead of the team that did in the end? Whereas the Unleashed Wii team in the end did the PS2 version only, but the Black Knight team would have done the Wii version. And I think it would have been a really, really awesome game on the Wii, because eventually it would do Sonic Colors. It's just, those
and that showed very clearly that we can make a Unleashed caliber Sonic game in terms of production values and stuff.
Yes, exactly. And imagine like all the cutscenes would have been remade on the Wii, like in-game models and everything, not just pre-recorded from the HD version. And like it would have had some differences, I would hope so, not just be a straight port. But just seeing how close, like how comparable the two would have been. And in all honesty, I think they should have done this in colors where they should have had maybe like one level from Missouri, which was never included outside the boss fight in the Wii version of Unleashed, as its own level in Sonic Colors. So it would have given Wii owners a taste of Unleashed HD in that form, and I think that would have been a really awesome idea. But that's just me, though.
Yeah. You know, I have very funny stories about writers, figurines, and colors. You don't mind if I share them, do you?
Go ahead.
Go right ahead, man.
Okay, I'll get secret rings here. Secret colors. What? Okay, so I'll get secret rings out of the way because that it's a little short. So I remember renting secret rings, and it was fun and all, but I actually felt physically ill playing it.
Motion sickness.
Oh.
Yep. And
The
so
final boss was horrible. You shake it in the Wiimote over and over and over again.
I didn't get that far, but I felt physically sick from playing it. And so my writer's story is kind of similar, where I just rented it for like a week, and it's a little different, but kind of the same. I actually got a ton of blisters. Sorry. Ugh. Am I playing on a video controller? Wow. Anyways, yeah, I got a lot of blisters from playing Riders, because you remember those parts where you have to move the control stick around?
Yes, I remember that. So annoying.
I hated those parts because I always wanted to win, and if I don't do it vigorously, I lose.
Yeah, Zero Gravity removed that.
I was like, oh my god, they got rid of it in Zero Gravity. This is better. I would love to rant and rave about what Riders Zero Gravity did right compared to the original, but I think that's a topic for another time. Because it was like the holy gospel of what Riders did, but better. That's all I can really say in a nutshell for now. But if we ever get back to the topic, I'll state what I feel about that. But anyways, my color story is rather interesting. It's a lot longer, by the way. So I actually did not like colors at first. If you go back to my earlier posts, and you'll see I absolutely love the game. And so, yeah. Oof. And now that I kind of mellowed out and became an adult, obviously, I played it again, and it really felt like an actually good Sonic game, in my opinion now. And I feel bad because I actually ruined a couple of friendships because of my really shitty opinion back then. And so it's not a bad game per se. I still kind of cringe at some of the jokes that Sonic makes. But Eggman's a blast. The gameplay is pretty good, for sure, but I just don't know what I was thinking when I was younger. That's all I can really say. But yeah, there's some fun facts of the day. This comes from TSS News, by the way. You heard it first.
Colors to me, it's weird. I was over the moon hyped for Colors when it was announced, but in the end, it really seemed underwhelming to me. I mean, it's a beautiful game, although I think Black Knight had the better visuals in the end. That's just me. But gameplay-wise, there was too many 2D sections, and they were not that fun to play.
I think that's right.
The brief 3D sections were pretty good, but even those weren't all that fun. And also, I think the aesthetic, the space thing got a little old after a while. Like I know it's space and all that, and there were like different varieties of planets, all that, but even then, something was off about the game in the end. I just really didn't. If I had to give it a score, it'd be like maybe a 7 out of 10 at most. I enjoyed Unleashed Wii a lot more than Colors, even though Colors was far more polished and all that, and had a much higher budget. Unleashed Wii was just much more of a blast to play, and the story was a lot better, and even the music was a lot better in Unleashed Wii than Colors. I didn't dig the soundtrack aside from Reach for the Stars, especially the instrumental theme that was heard in the original trailer. I mean, that's like the best piece in the game. But it's weird. Like the trailer for Sonic Colors when it was unveiled was just one of the best trailers I've ever seen from Sega of Sonic. It was like such an incredible trailer. The music, the animation, the atmosphere. It gave me the feeling that we were going to be exploring that huge alien world, and it turned out in the final game you would only explore like the grassy plain of Planet Wiz for like 2 seconds, and it was just all industrial shit. And yeah, and it's just like I didn't like it in the end. I mean, that's a lie. I liked it. The cutscenes were really cool to see, like the in-game graphics and all that. Even if the writing, of course, was pretty lackluster in spots, but like I said, it's a 7 out of 10, and I give Unleashed Wii like a 8 or 9 out of 10. Probably more like an 8 or 8.5, just due to lack of polish.
It's nice to see someone else like the Wii version of Unleashed.
Mm-hmm. I've only played the Wii version of Unleashed. I never beaten it because, well, funny story, I got robbed once, and I could never finish it. So I remember being stuck on Dark Gaia because it was a bitch to figure out what to do against it because of the constant time limit and being hit by everything all at once. How do I beat this? And so by the time I got robbed, it was like, what do I do now?
Speaking of that point with the that area, when you're running in the HD version, the little platforming sections with Sonic is a lot shorter. In the Wii version, those sections are a bit longer. So I could see why, because I remember having a few issues with that myself when I played it. Anyways, my opinion on Colors, I thought that it was refreshing because Colors is one of the first times where I felt like, even though I really like Unleashed, I loved Black Knight despite obvious issues that game had. I just really I appreciated how Colors was the first time I felt Sonic Team was just full on confident. It was just, this is Sonic, you're only getting Sonic, have fun and run. And the fact that there's no story right away, it's just right away you're playing the game, you're running through Tropical Coast. And yes, I think it's annoying that there isn't much 3D platforming, and the story isn't as good as Unleashed. But for what it was trying to be, a 3D Genesis game, I felt it did a very good job with that.
You know what's funny? The writers that came on board, starting with Sonic Colors, Warren Graff and Ken Pontac, they did all that witty commentary dialogue in Mad World. Why can't their writing in games nowadays be that good? Have you seen the stuff in that game? That's so fucking hilarious. I mean, maybe I think they did use some of that humor in Eggman's PA announcements in Colors, which you could barely hear, so you have to watch them all on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, in terms of, maybe they're just good at witty dialogue in terms of deliberate quips or whatever. Maybe if they are allowed to go to a higher audience, an older audience, and not just skewed to the kiddies. So maybe that's why they're writing most modern Sonic games are just crap. It's funny because the two games they worked on prior to Colors were Mad World and Happy Tree Friends, both of which were not for kids. So
what are you talking about? Happy Tree Friends is definitely for kids. You know, kids love that blood and gore, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of the writers, let me get this out of the way. Speaking of the writers, I don't mind if they're writing different dialogue or whatnot. I don't think that they're bad because they have to be writers for a good reason, you know? So I just won't, like, say that they're bad because they're writers, because, you know, they actually have to earn their job first. So I will trust them for now until proven otherwise, but still, I'm just saying.
Actually, Ken Pontac has worked on quite a variety of TV shows, so he doesn't just work on games or anything. I don't know about Warren Graff, but Ken Pontac has written on shows like Shadow Raiders, which is also called War Planets in the U.S. He's worked on like the more recent Transformers shows, I think, like Rescue Bots and Pac-Man: The Ghostly Adventures, and all those are really well done shows. So it's like he can write legit good stuff. It's just that for Sonic, he's not that. He doesn't. Maybe he's just not getting the chance to use his real ability or something. I don't know. It depends on what he's given or something. Who the hell knows? I don't. So
it's also worth a point.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like the writers, I mean, yeah, the writers write the story, but it's the people who make the games that determine the story, and pretty much they fill in the blanks. So it's not them that's writing the whole story. It's the people who develop the game. Okay, we want it to be like this. So what Graff and Pontac had to do is just fill in the blanks.
Maybe. I mean, I heard that Lost World was the first game they actually built the story from the ground up, so I don't know if the game was built around their story or something. I don't know. That's why
that'd be kind of weird, though.
Can I give my opinion on...
What's that?
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Go on.
Well, I'm just going to say that'd be kind of weird because, like, I feel like there were concepts first. Like, hey, look, this is Donut Planet. This is... like a robot planet, etc., etc. You know what I mean? I mean, that would seem kind of weird, though. But they seemed like they're just like, you know, concepts, and they just went with it. So, anyways, sorry. Anyways, I just want to get that
out. Were you saying something, Meek?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, Mickey. How do you like my new nickname for you? I'm going to give everyone here a nickname by the end of this, by the way.
Okay.
Just a heads up, everyone's going to have a nickname, including myself.
Sounds good.
When Meek comes back, I guess I'll put in my predictions, now that all
you haven't yet. Sorry.
It's alright.
Continue on. I'm curious of what you have to say.
Oh, I got something to say. Believe me. Actually,
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, hi. So
that was an interesting prediction.
I'm sorry. I was gonna give my opinion on Sonic Colors.
It's Sonic Colors topic now.
Do you want to do that before I give him my predictions, Meek?
Sure. It's gonna be short. Sure. Basically, well, of course, Sonic Generations was one of my first, another modern game. I mean, Sonic 06 was I think Sonic 06 was part of the Adventure series, but...
It's actually, isn't it considered to be modern because it's in that modern era in Generations?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Sonic Generations was like other modern game that I really, really liked.
A modern
Sonic
game.
Colors... And then I saw Sonic Colors, and I'm like, hey, this looks like fun. You know, I played it. I mean, yeah, I don't like the 2D sections, but I found the game to be really fun. But the only problem that I have with it is that the boost is too limited to me, in my opinion. And with the boost, it's too platformy for it. It's not like linear, like Unleashed, where the whole level is built around the boost. I don't think that Sonic Colors was that way.
To me, the thing about the boost is that it's at least, well, in Unleashed Wii, where it was like you have like multiple segments of boosts you can use, like you just do singular bursts. That and Sonic Colors, you never go too fast. But when I gave the HD version of Unleashed a try, you just go so bloody fast you have like no control of what you're doing, and that's not fun.
It is a shallow mechanic, objectively, but I like it.
Yeah.
The boost works really well depending on how it's structured. Like, I think Sonic Rush did the boost the best. Of course, it was introduced in that game
exactly.
in some ways. But you had the trick system. You had levels designed in mind to be, you use this all the time. Go, 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 go. I think what happened, what Unleashed, was they wanted to have a very fast-feeling Sonic, and I think the controls are okay, but the problem is it wasn't refined enough by the time when Unleashed was, because it's a new gameplay style. So things like the drift, if you was boosting when using it, it just flew off somewhere if you wasn't careful. But with Generations, they polished up the controls enough to where you can use the boost, but have a lot of control over Sonic.
Yeah,
at least that's how
it didn't feel that Sonic, like, at 4, I do agree that there are times that Sonic controlled more like a race car than a character that runs on 2 feet. But Generations kind of fixed that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that was the point I was making. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Random thought, though. It's kind of related, but kind of random thought.
What?
But have you guys seen Game Grumps playthrough of Black Knight?
I haven't watched it yet, no.
Well, I know this is probably going to be controversial because the Grumps don't Sonic, but I think this is kind of funny of them. They actually have a theory on why Sonic's so fast.
Why is that?
The chili dogs, right?
He eats too many chili dogs that he constantly has the shits.
Well,
So he farts. Gotta fart fast.
Well, I
Yep.
mean, you've all seen scientifically accurate Sonic the Hedgehog.
That was great.
Gotta go fast, kids. So we should probably go through the next predictions before we start losing the whole point of this entire podcast.
Yep.
Alright, so
We don't-
I guess it's time for my predictions. Alright. Well, for the event tomorrow, let's see. Anyways, I'm just trying to get my thoughts here.
We know what to predict, though. Sonic Pizza Party.
Sonic Pizza Party?
Yeah, Sonic Pizza Party.
With chili flavored pizza.
No, the
Yeah.
the pizzas are the explosions in Mighty Number 9. It's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, you guys. Maybe that's why I didn't leave.
Anyways, well, let's see here. I've been predicting for a while, or just thinking of what they would even do with the event, or, when they'll unveil the damn game. And, for one thing, I find it really unusual that they're unveiling the game on July 22nd, and that's if they're even doing that. I mean, they don't, I don't think they even said they're officially unveiling a game. They say the future of Sonic, and that's probably the closest they've gotten to even...
Sorry to cut you off, dude.
No
Sorry
worries.
to cut you off for a moment, but I remember during the I think I don't know when it was, but it was something in it was something in May. They had this big Sonic event in May where Aaron Weber said, "We don't have a game announcement here, but we really want, but please pay attention," or something along the lines, to the anniversary party, because it may not be announced here today, but it might be announced here, or something along those lines.
Yeah, and that's a thing. Aaron likes to tease people, and also...
He likes to troll people.
Yes, and, for better or for worse, Aaron is quite the character on Twitter. I mean, I think this is something we haven't really discussed about, is his actions on Twitter. For better or for worse, I don't know if it's, the right thing to do for the series. I think, there's a way, what's the term, laughing at your own failure or something, where he, or just making a fool of himself with the best
into the Sonic. I'm sorry to cut you off again. This is the last time we'll do so, but
no worries.
This is tying into the whole Sonic is a joke idea, right?
Yeah,
Everyone thinks Sonic is a joke.
Yeah, it's just that, I mean, you notice how most Twitter accounts are very, PR centric, where they'll just occasionally announce something on it, maybe once in a while say something to the fans or whatever. Aaron has basically turned that completely on its head, and has basically turned it almost like it's, in a word, memes. It's a meme. It's
Yeah.
it's all about the memes, and not
It's
just
meme
not ju-
land.
Exactly. And not just with Aaron, but people who work with him. Like, take for example. No offense to him, but what's his name? Mannheimer, Tails Channel, whatever. And when he became an intern at Sega, he's no longer there. He has posted nothing but memes, and it's just like, what are you even doing there? I mean, it's like, like, if it wasn't memes, he was just like saying, look at this thing that this Sonic related thing. Look at this other thing that's related to Sonic. And I mean no disrespect to him. He's obviously a really great guy, and he's obviously very popular. But I'm just thinking, like, during his whole internship at Sega, all he was doing is just posting these joke things about himself and whatnot. And Aaron is just doing this for a living, where it's just all these jokes, and it's just and everything he does for as actual work is just tease and troll the community. And it's just like, where's that balance in terms of taking your job seriously? And
to be honest with you, like, I totally understand like why people don't like the Sonic social media. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I've probably done that too many times.
Something too.
Yeah, and like, I know why people like it. It's funny, and a lot of people do say, "Oh, the Sonic social media is the only thing I like about Sonic."
I know, and it's...
which is kind of, but the problem is that there's no balance. I mean, at least like do fan art competitions or trivia or something. You got something up in those.
Mig, I don't think you want to encourage fan art competitions in the Sonic community. Need I remind you of certain things? No, no. Hey, guess what? If you search your name on Google and put in the hedgehog, you'll find a hedgehog suited for you. I'm not kidding. If you put in your real name,
I actually tried that. I found my name, the hedgehog, and I was like, why?
It's like one of the funniest things. Like the real. It's like a meme. It's like a meme, but real.
Yeah, I don't think there's any hedgehogs with my name, which I'm pretty lucky.
Who knows? If not now, then someday.
Crow the Hedgehog. Crow the Hedgehog is a thing, guys.
Gonna go feast.
And it's a shadowy color. What's the surprise?
Gonna make chaos Swiss rolls.
Chaos Swiss roll.
I wonder if he has wings.
I don't know.
Without wings, I can still fly.
Anyway,
so yeah, the Sonic social media is a really good part. I mean, they could do a lot. I mean, they have the whole Sonic thing. I mean, they could get really people into the series, but it's like they're doing it the wrong way.
I'll tell you,
to the point where they're
I'll say one thing. They definitely hit it out of the ballpark at times. Like the better than nothing joke is both funny and really like someone posted a reply showing Sonic in a glass house. I didn't get what that meant, but now I do. It's just basically where Sonic is so prone to accidents himself, he could break that glass house or something. I think that's a joke. But anyways, but the thing they did recently with Roger Craig Smith and Mike Pollock on Twitter, that was really good, where they would, in their characters, reply to comments from fans and actual like major accounts like the Assassin's Creed account and the Deus Ex account, and like just making jokes about that in their voices. It was actually legit cool. That was a really cool idea.
My favorite joke, my favorite one for that was like someone made a comment about Sonic. Hey Eggman, why don't you build these bases underwater? That made me crack up. Sonic just kept saying, "Hey, why don't you build these bases underwater?" Eggman's like, "I can't swim."
I want to add something to a little bit more of Game Grumps too. Is that like, okay, so this happened like in today's episode. So Aaron takes 2 episodes to defeat King Arthur in the Black Knight, and he constantly complains that it's really bad game design because he sucks at it, and he's like, "Oh, it's poopy." And at the end of the episode, they at the start of this new episode that just came out, spoilers by the way. So at at like around the beginning of the episode that they actually defeat King Arthur, and the credits start rolling, and they kept joking that it's a 20-minute game, and then like Aaron decides to continue playing it because he needs more stuff for the episode, and so like at the very end, like Aaron eventually starts giving up and throws the Wii remote. It kind of shows that he kind of, I mean, he does joke around a lot about the series, but it kind of shows that he's kind of tired of hearing it and doesn't like it in general.
I honestly got the impression that Aaron at some point liked the series, but he's completely thrown a fit at this point.
He did say he loved Sonic at one point too. He's like, I love Sonic, and he was playing.
Yeah. I would never doubt that he loves Sonic. I mean, he worked at Sega for how many years before his like very brief departure, and then he just came back all of a sudden, and he's like back in his old job, but now he's like completely a different person now in Twitter than like he was just a PR piece back in the old days, but now he's like literally taken over social media.
Oh no! I was talking about Aaron from Game Club.
Oh, I know that. I thought you were talking about Aaron, because I know Crow was talking about Aaron from Game Grumps.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of commenting on. That I think
Hello?
like Sonic at one point, but eventually.
Not here.
I'm sorry for
Yeah.
the confusion.
Sorry about that.
Oh well, like, so do you have a thought about Aaron?
Which Aaron? What are we talking about again?
Oh boy, I think here you was talking about your predictions for Sonic.
My predictions.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about, oh god, where was I? Well, like, I was saying how I was trying to predict, like, when they would unveil the game and whatnot, and I was just saying I was surprised that they would unveil it so late in the year, whereas most Sonic games are unveiled in the spring or summer, I mean, like, in the early summer, like, no later than June or whatever, but I know July's not that much further ahead, and like I say, it's not even guaranteed at this point. If some may think it is, but it's not. But it's like we already know it is a 2017 game, so that makes sense now. But before we didn't, so it's just really weird, especially because it's like, what is taking it so long? For one thing, Sonic Team hasn't made a Sonic game since Lost World, and like, I know that it's great that they have all this extra time to make the game, so I'm just wondering what the holdup is. Normally, games don't take that long, and even then, who knows what they were tinkering with during the development of Lost World, since, well, we know that both the Colors team and the Generations team, some will say there's not actually two teams, whatever, but they sort of combined together to make Lost World, even though it was began by the Colors team, but whatever. So that finished in 2013, and now it's been almost 3 years since that game came out. But the thing is that it obviously is meant to. They knew they had to get an anniversary game out, so unless it is legit, it needs polish, which is, knowing Sonic. It's good that they're releasing it next year at some point. I predict around spring. And the thing is that I've posted my predictions like on NeoGAF numerous times about what I think is the circumstances surrounding this, and I know this may ruffle some feathers, particularly yours, RK. You know exactly what I'm gonna be getting towards.
Yep, go right ahead.
Basically, the reason why it's like gonna be a 2017 game is being delayed. Like the announcement's been delayed for so long. I think it has a very slight chance of being an NX exclusive, only because, for one thing, like the timing of everything, and two, if it is, it's basically related that the NX is coming out in March, and chances are the game might come out in March. But even then, I find it really bizarre, or at least telling, that Mario was present at the 2017 game's announcement, where, like, some say he was there for the Olympics promotion, and that's fine. But when I watched the video of that section of the announcement, there was nothing really about the Olympics or anything that came up. Obviously, I don't understand Japanese, but at least in the context of like what I was seeing and whatnot, the Olympics didn't come up, yet Mario was right there alongside Sonic when it was announced. And I think that's weird that Mario would just be there for no special reason. If the if he was there for the Olympics portion, he would just left right after. So why did he stay? I mean, it could be just for respect, I guess, but I don't know. I just can't help it. It might be foreshadowing something. I don't know. But also, I just think it's also weird that after all this time, there's been no appearance of Sonic on the PS4 and Xbox One. And if the deal ended in 2014, as soon as Rise of Lyric and Shattered Crystal came out, they had all last year to do everything from a remaster of Generations, Unleashed, what have you, or hell, even a PS4 and Xbox One port of Lost World. They did it on PC, but not on PS4 and Xbox One. And let's face it, the PC version of Lost World is not exactly the definitive version. It has quite a bit of cut content from the multiplayer, from the Nintendo levels, obviously. The co-op play where the little plane, the planes or whatever that Tails makes. You can remote control things or whatever that you get when you connect to the Wii U and 3DS versions. I don't know if anyone really used that thing. But
it's also in the 3DS version too, but they're more like power-ups. Like one can make, like I remember when I played the game early this year, you can get one of the RC things if you die enough times to turn invisible and be invincible, for example.
Yeah, I think I think that happens. I didn't really play the 3DS version. I only played the demo of it from the eShop. I basically watched the entirety of Ntom64's playthrough of it when it came out, and it speaks enough about the game, like how not good it is. I mean, it's worse than the Wii U version.
I'm a little kinda towards it, but then again, I never fully played the Wii U version, so what do I know?
I actually gotten all the red rings in the Wii U version and unlocked Super Sonic, and I got to see the glory of Super Sonic's 2 mouths.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I know. I even took a screenshot of it when it happened. When I first saw it, it was the weirdest thing. Like they just, for whatever reason, forgot to implement the swapping thing of the mouths. I don't know. It's a the effect is a nice thing, I guess, but I always preferred seeing him without no mouths, period. Like in the Adventure era and whatnot. That's just me, though.
But what if he doesn't have a mouth?
Then he eats.
Then he eats chili dog.
Then he eats everything like Waddle Dee eats food. He absorbs the food.
And just like how Sonic has only one eye.
I know. No. It's Kirby. It's Kirby in his eyes. In his face.
Oh, okay. Thank you for correcting me.
Never saw that comic?
I was being sarcastic. That comic is funny.
Anyways.
But do you mind if I share my thoughts about your predictions, or are you done talking about them?
I'll continue on. I know what you're gonna say. Well, for one thing, I know you're very against the idea, and I know you've and I also deeply apologize for like getting on your nerves about the predictions and whatnot. I know you've been very vocal about that.
No. You know what? It's okay, man. We all have our opinions, and we should all respect that.
I know, and I highly respect your opinions. I know, like, you told me that you only have enough money to just afford a PS4 and not an NX if, like, you don't even know if it's going to be any good or not, so you want to be safe than sorry.
Exactly. Thank you for understanding, dude.
No worries. No, I try to be very respectful and thoughtful about your feelings and whatnot. Anyways.
So,
oh, man. The bro-ship is real.
Just try to be respectful, that's all. Anyways.
You don't have to deny it.
Anyways, where was I? Yeah. So, I mean, the odds of it being an NX exclusive, I think are maybe like 5% at most, maybe 10%. But I think it's just safest bet is that it's going to be on all 3 systems, PS4, Xbox One, and Wii, and NX, not Wii U. I don't think it's going to happen. But, yeah, it's gonna be, like, the NX version may or may not be announced at the event, I don't know, because it depends what Nintendo will allow. I think Nintendo should allow it to be announced. I mean, they allowed Ubisoft to announce Just Dance 2017 to be on, that's gonna be on NX at launch, along with the other versions of the game. Like, I think the NX version is the only one that's gonna come out next year as opposed to this year, so, I mean, if they gave Ubisoft the green light to announce that game of all things, why not Sonic?
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed on my end, but, But yeah, I would be surprised if it's not on PS4 and Xbox One. Like it's something I want for it to be exclusive because like I've made my stance on Sonic and Nintendo so many times on NeoGAF and maybe once or twice on Sonic Stadium. I know it could be a very controversial topic, but basically as my Nintendo focus on the site shows, I'm extremely huge on Nintendo. So it's and I've experienced Sonic, like most of its games, on Nintendo hardware, and you know I grew up with those games, so it's a very big attachment to me, and that's why I'm so dedicated to Nintendo. So I hope I never put people off because of it, and I deeply apologize, but it's just who I am.
Yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm. I
do want to say. Oh,
sure, go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
I do want to say, as like for the predictions, I've been thinking maybe it's another Sonic cameo, because like maybe like I was thinking like maybe they finally added a Sonic dance to Just Dance, because at first they had Mario, they had Tetris. I mean, why not Sonic?
Yeah, they did Yokai Watch Dance, this Just Dance Yokai Watch thing, and it's like it's weird because you think a Yokai Watch Dance game would be like fucking brilliant because of all the dance craze with the series in Japan, but apparently the game, the Just Dance Yokai Watch game, is just these generic silhouette characters wearing Yokai Watch inspired clothing, and with the characters in the background, it's just like, no, that's like that you really botched up that idea. So
I'm just thinking like maybe like there'll be a Sonic dance and Just Dance where Sonic is dancing the Green Hill Zone or something like that.
He actually did that. He actually did that in Samba de Amigo for Wii. He actually had a cameo in that game where he actually would dance along with him in the Green Hill Zone level.
Oh.
So I'm
thinking like it's like a Genesis collection or like a cameo or they're going to talk more about Sega Dimensions and say, oh, you know what? There's other characters that could be in Sega Dimensions, not just Sonic. It could be Eggman or Tails.
You're talking about Sega Blast Heroes, that mobile game?
No, I'm talking about
right?
Oh, Lego Dimensions.
I'm talking about Lego Dimensions.
You said Sega
I
Dimensions.
Could see that.
I swear you said
sorry,
Sega
my bad.
Dimensions.
I think your point might be a good one because Sonic is a big Sega property, I would imagine, and there's also the fact that when you place some specific figures on the portal, it also unlocks other characters. Like I remember one of the Ghostbusters from the release last year. You place them on the portal, you unlock the entire team of the Ghostbusters from the first movie instead of just the one little figure. So maybe when you place Sonic on the portal, maybe you unlock Tails, maybe you unlock Eggman, maybe you unlock Ai from Super Monkey Ball. Who knows?
Maybe. It's funny because Traveler's Tales did develop Super Monkey Ball Adventure.
I didn't think of that, but yeah, that's a very good point.
It was actually by the Crash Twinsanity team at TT Oxford. It was their only other game before they were shut down.
They're awesome people.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I might as well say what I think the game or games, whatever, might be. And I basically...
Oh, you've been hyping this up.
I'm not really hyped for much. Like, if I had to predict any sort of game that it might be, I mean, it's really hard to put my finger on what it'll definitely be. Like, there's nothing that SA will definitely be, but, I mean, it could be SA3, it could be something all new, it could be Gens 2, I don't know. I don't want to see Gens 2, I think it's just... It really is. I like to nickname it Rehash the Game. Because that's all it is. It's just Sonic going through remade stages with just about the only original thing in the game, the time meter, being garbage, from what I've heard. And it's just like, that's not something sustainable. Like, just making a game every 5 years where it's just remaking only levels from previous games. That just, it's not a good idea. It was maybe nice for one time, but not something you should do. Can
I jump in and say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I think Generations is a case of a game that came out at the right time. Because Sonic's 20th anniversary was a big event, and the series was riding on the good reception from Sonic All-Stars Racing, Sonic 4 Episode 1, and Sonic Colors. So when Generations was announced, and it celebrated the series' history, everyone was very excited, and when Classic Sonic was announced to be coming back, that basically sold people very, very easily on the concept, and it was one of the best rated Sonic games. I think of late. I'm not super sure, but I think if Sega wanted to do more stuff with that generation's concept of revisiting old levels, they would have, even though it would have been expensive, Generations was likely a very expensive game to make, they would have made DLC levels. They would have talked with the fan community and porting over the Unleashed project over to consoles, or in a remaster project, because they worked with the fans in the past. They got Taxman and Stealth, who made excellent ROM hacks and fan games, and helped and allowed them to work on the iOS ports of Sonic 1 and 2, and the fantastic re-release of Sonic CD. They're not afraid of talking to the fan community.
Well, it's just weird. It's funny because they don't, like, Sega basically cut ties with Taxman at this point. They just cannot get together for Sonic 3 remaster or whatever for whatever reason. I guess they just put that in the cutting room floor.
The reason why, you know what the reason is? I think the reason is because of the music rights. Because the Sonic 3's music rights is just this big mess.
I don't know, they always seem to have no trouble re-releasing the game whenever it's it's been released, like on the Virtual Console or whatever. So I don't know why that's a big thing. Like the only one time they ever adjusted the music, and even then it wasn't really adjusted, in terms of a complete replacement with original tracks. It was just like that Sonic and Knuckles collection on PC, way long ago, where the music was adjusted or something. But it was still the same music, just not the original recordings.
That's a good point.
Because every other time it's just been the exact same music, so...
I don't know, that's just a rumor that's been flying around, and I think it holds some ground, but again, I'm not super sure, and it's an easy problem to fix, because I think it only really applies to Ice Cap, and they could easily just compose a new track, use the Sonic and Knuckles PC version of it, or at the very least, reuse the Sonic Adventure version of the track, if they really need to.
Well, here's in my response to that, Sega is just garbage when it came to music, keeping rights to their own music back in the 90s.
Oh,
I mean, Sonic 1, 2, and apparently 3, and maybe just 3, not Knuckles. They what was Sega thinking? When most companies hire you to do something for them, they own everything you make. So why?
No, I think the reason why is because of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, they got a famous a pop star in Japan. I keep forgetting his name, but he basically...
Masato Nakamura.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. That guy was huge in Japan. So basically, they signed him on to make the music. Everyone loves the music, but probably part of the contracting deal, because he's a big star, he owns the rights to that music, and Sega pays him every time they use his music, whether they remix it or not.
That must have been real desperation, especially for something that wasn't even proven yet. I mean, Sonic was a complete unknown at that point. The game hadn't even come out yet. They should have just had one of their own composers, which I'm sure they had at the time.
They did. I think the Sonic, they for example, on the Mega, I would imagine they could easily have made their own music. Sonic CD, both versions of the soundtrack are fantastic.
Were those composers at Sega at the time? I don't know, because that was 2 years after or something, but I don't know. It's funny because the composer of the 8-bit version of Sonic 1 was Yuzo Koshiro, who is still making many soundtracks today. He has his own company called Ancient, and he does also like to put his name on whatever music he makes, but I don't know. It's just Sega had this weird habit of hiring composers that just want a cut of their own music or ownership, and it's just they stopped doing that after Sonic and Knuckles, where they literally had every piece of music ever made for them in their own pockets. But I don't know, it's just maybe Sega was just that kind of company back then, where they wanted to work on some sort of licensed stuff or whatever. I have no idea.
Who knows?
Did I say everything? I don't know. Let's see.
I think we've went to 2 hours now.
Oh yeah, it's
I can't believe we talk so much. I'm sorry.
I know it's it's literally at 2 hours and 6 minutes, just going on 7 minutes, and yeah, I think it's probably about time we wrapped up. What do you think?
Okay.
Or is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up?
Well, I feel like I said my general opinions. I mean, there are more Sonic stuff I could talk about, but I think all of us could really.
I mean, we'll definitely. I would like for all of us to get together again at some point, and maybe not long from hell. Maybe not tomorrow.
After the anniversary event.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow night or something after the event, or not tomorrow night because it'll be too late. Like if it's literally at 9 p.m., we basically they'll be over by the when it's over. Most of us will probably be in bed at the time, so we have our sleep schedules too.
I tend to go to sleep pretty late, but I agree with you.
I think we should do it the day after, so on Saturday night or something, or Saturday afternoon.
Good thing I'm a vampire, huh?
Oh wait a minute. Oh no, never mind. What day is it today? It's it's just going on Friday, so never mind. Yeah, today's Thursday. If it's still 11:36 for, I don't know what time it is at your end, Meek and Crow.
It's 10:36 p.m. for me.
So you're an hour behind us. Me and RK. What about you, Meek?
Yeah, Mickey.
It's 11:36.
Oh, you're on EST as well. So
well, I think maybe Sunday we should, not Sunday, Saturday we should all kind of have another chat, another podcast or whatever about the anniversary, because we're probably going to have very different reactions once.
Oh yeah. I definitely want us to do a reaction podcast. Like I said, maybe Saturday afternoon or something. If you're all free, then I'll be. But
yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you should also add more people too.
I had a hard time rounding up very many people for this. You're literally the only ones that agreed to it, even though it's like a 2-day notice or something. But still,
yeah.
Most people were too busy or just not interested. I might be able to get one or two more, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
You can make a thread and say, hey, we're having a podcast.
I could do that. It's not a bad idea.
We should announce, hey, we're gonna have a Sonic Jam. We're gonna celebrate the reaction to the big anniversary party. If you want to share your thoughts, join us for the chat.
Yeah, we're having a Sonic Jam. Raspberry.
I can if you want, I can help. We should make a thread for it. I can help make the thread for it, and people can come. And if they have a Skype, they can come. I mean, it'll be a party.
Hey, maybe
the more the merrier.
Maybe I wonder if it would actually be a better idea if someone else made the thread, because it's like my podcast, and I don't want to make it some might think it's not really a good thing if someone self-promotion or something, because some places don't like self-promotion. Even though I'm a writer on the site, but I'm just saying maybe it's through word of mouth or something.
I can make an announcement on Twitter that I might be talking about Sonic. If you're interested, send me a message or something.
Maybe, but I would prefer if I had the final say on who joins. So I don't want random people just joining in on the podcast we never 3 or 4 of us never heard of. I'd rather just keep it something enclosed.
Even then, let's just have it be the 4 of us.
Yeah, the 4 of us. If possible, as long as all 4 of us are available. I mean, not a requirement. I mean, if maybe. Well, it depends on big events or something. Maybe at some point we could do Nintendo Direct reactions when they happen, or E3 reactions. I like that idea.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to invite my friends, can I do that?
We'll have to. We might have to talk about that another time. Maybe when we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm not saying no, but I don't know. It's just are your friends at Sonic Stadium or whatever, or just real life friends, or
Sonic Stadium?
Yeah, I mean if they're from Sonic Stadium, then that definitely means they're basically qualified. I'm just saying don't bring friends you met at school or something into the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't have friends in real life.
You have
don't worry.
I have no friends.
Sorry to hear that. I'm kind of glad I'm in the social group, to be honest. because we've been doing Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I'm like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I get to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh anime all day, and it annoys everyone because I have to make sure everyone pronounce XDs right. That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly had a lot of fun with this is my first podcast ever, but this was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's
it's,
good.
I
At
had a
least
lot
right
of
now-
fun too.
it's been a lot of
Even
fun.
though I didn't have much to say, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you actually, I
Sorry.
think everyone had a really great amount of, well, not screen time, but speaker time. What do you call it?
Yeah.
But you
Person time, I guess.
Spotlight.
Spotlight, yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone
Spotlight.
had their own like pretty even time in the spotlight, and I think that's great. In fact, would most people? Would you guys say I had the least amount of time in the spotlight? Like I let everyone go before me, and I just like then say my own thing, but then we just move on to you guys.
You get interrupted.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
mind.
I'm sorry I talk too much.
I don't mind.
You're kind of the host of this, so
I'm the host,
you
but-
invited us.
Yeah, I invited you guys, but I don't mind you guys, sort of taking priority here, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm just thrilled to have you guys to talk to about all this stuff. It's my first podcast, like group podcast, and it's just been a whole lot of fun, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's nice
and
to
it's
know
nice
that
to hear
we're
your and it's nice to hear your voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will
it's
never
really-
hear my post the same way ever again.
Exactly.
But
I
my
don't know.
voice-
I thought like Crow's voice was gonna be different for some reason. I don't know.
You mean more squawky?
No, I thought it was gonna be like more like deeper. I don't know.
I keep getting told that, to be honest. Like, aren't you more mellow than that? I'm like, there's a reason I'm called myself Crow? Call? Yeah. Now you will never unread everything in my voice.
So.
And just for a bonus. Just for a bonus.
Hmm?
I am President Crow, President of SSMB. There, lovely viewer things.
So.
If I have
Hi
anything-
people. Hi Sonic.
If I have
Sorry.
anything to any closing comments, I do want to give random shout outs to people, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So I have to give random shout outs to my friends in the now defunct BBA, the Jin, and he now known as Silencer, but I still rather know him as well. They've been there and they've been some of my good friends for years. And I have to give a really special shout out to my friend Bailing Hearts because he helped me out with the Danganronpa stream.
Nice.
And so I'm glad that he took an interest, and so I helped him because he helped me and so forth. So, yeah, I think we did a good job with doing two different streams at once with Ninjago and Danganronpa. So I'm glad they were
Yeah.
a success. So, yeah, so there you go. Pat yourself on the back.
I actually have
Yeah.
I actually have shoutouts of my own to give out. I'd like to give shoutouts to
Yes.
Hellfire Comms and all the other those streamers or whatever and commentators or whatnot, because I don't know if you guys remember, but last year I was actually part of the Nintendo-thon alongside them, where I got to commentate on a few, well, it was just 3 videos, like 3 games, but still, it actually gave me the courage to actually start recording my own stuff. It all started from that. So, actually, I can provide links to that, I guess in the description, since this will be on YouTube, so
No.
if you're interested,
YouTube.
I'll share those.
bit. I promise.
And
Oh, who's talking?
I don't know. My brother was
Oh.
quiet.
All right. So is this the shout out cast though? Because I can add.
yeah,
Mine's is pretty short.
I'm just wondering if I have anything else. And also, I just want to thank the other staff at Sonic Stadium for giving me the opportunity to be a writer of the site, and it sort of brought me up further in life, I guess. I became more notable than nothing, so that's something, I guess.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly.
You heard
Can I-
this straight
can I
from
make some
TFS
shout-outs?
News.
So yeah.
Can I make some shout outs?
Of course.
Go.
All right. I just want to give a shout out to NeoGaf in general because even though I feel I have very strong thoughts against the toxicity that's there sometimes, the Sonic retrospective that I made is the reason why I'm doing so much writing work in other places, and I kind of found my voice online. So I gotta thank people for really loving or enjoying at least my retrospectives on Sonic, and I just want to give shout outs to NeoGaf members Village and Yoshi who helped me out on some retrospectives on the Sonic series because I had a lot of fun working with them on some of the ones I made, and just Sonic Stadium in general because that was my first game. Sonic Stadium was my very first gaming forum, and I have very fond memories of posting and talking about Sonic during like the more hyped parts, like when Lost World came out. There was a big stream, and I watched it with all you guys. There was then there was the whole Sonic Boom hype, and I posted a lot trying to make people excited about it.
Oh yeah. You know what? No, I think I remember you, but I'm not sure. I was around when the Sonic Boom hype was there. I wasn't really happy about Sonic Boom back then. I don't know.
You weren't around.
I was optimistic about it.
You weren't around when the boom happened.
It was such a odd announcement that I tried to talk positive about it. Like I was looking into who was making the game and all the developers. I can't believe Pixar animators, DreamWorks animators, people from Santa Monica Studio made God of War, Superbot Entertainment developers who made PlayStation All-Stars. All these people were part of Big Red Button.
Hey, and you know who helped you find that information about
you
who was
did.
working? Yes, it was me.
Exactly.
Me. I had a lot of fun looking up all these people online, just seeing what they've done before, and I just try to build hype for the game, and just because Big Red Button were such an unknown company, it was really fascinating to know who was there and working on the game, and
they're such a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, guys.
I also want to give shoutouts to NeoGaf as well. They're my primary gaming forum. I know you think it would be Sonic Stadium, but NeoGaf is where I usually hang. And even though there's some as Arcade said, there's toxicity there, but honestly, there are a lot of great folks there who are just a blast to chat with in various threads, and I really appreciate being with them, just chatting, and enjoying the same things they do. So I really appreciate being at that forum, and I've been there for now very close to a decade.
Huh. Wow.
I've been a member.
Yeah. Well,
go right ahead.
What were your
still
shoutouts?
shouting at people.
Huh?
What were your
Still shouting at
shoutouts?
people. Go ahead.
Oh, I only have maybe a couple.
Go ahead.
Of course, I want to start off with Sonic because Sonic is the first video game I played. So I just want to say thank you to Sega and Sonic Team for making great Sonic games, and I hope that they make really good Sonic games. And then the next one, I want to shout out to Sonic Stadium because it's it's not my first Sonic forum. The Sega forums was, but it's kind of like my first real Sonic forum where everybody talked about Sonic, and I think my first year was kind of a little bumpy because my opinions were over the top, but I'm more intelligent now. I calmed down and I realized that hey, I have to see things from other people's points of view, and that's how I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one is I do have my friend on Sonic Stadium who I know if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to post my Sonic opinions on Sonic Stadium, nor will I ever have to examine my own Sonic opinions. So, and just the mere fact that he's been there for me, for me when I would post opinions. So, yeah, I just want to say, hi, Dio. Thanks.
Kono Dio da.
And that's it.
All right.
Oh, I do want to give a now special shout out.
Sure.
This is a very special one, and I'm really thankful for them. The listeners.
Yay!
The listeners.
Because
Thank you for listening to us for 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listening to
You're at this point, honestly, you have dedication to listen to like 4 random people talk about a blue cartoon hedgehog. So
Yeah,
kudos
really.
to you. Just kudos to you for if you sat through all that. I know it might be a little boring at points, but it's what we do.
Gotta go fast.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta speak, kid.
Before we
And one last thing. I got
sure.
to drop a hint. I'm working on something Sonic related.
No.
Look forward to it on SMB. That's all I can say. It's giving me writer's block.
I'm looking forward
That's all
to
I
it,
have
man.
to say.
Does that
Okay.
mean that you know about the new game?
Writer's block.
It-
Writer's block. Is that what happens when Jet the Hawk crashes into something?
No, that's when Crow runs into something.
I don't think you got the joke. Riders, Sonic Riders.
Oh.
Gosh darn.
This is fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
I
I
hope we
can
can do
say-
this again.
Definitely.
I had to say though
Definitely.
is that the problem is that there's a new Star Trek movie coming out tomorrow, and I'm not sure when I'm going to be seeing it, but I'm going to be seeing it with family, so can't give you a specific time yet. So it's a TBA.
Well, it won't be tomorrow. Well, like I said, it'll be probably Saturday. It could be Sunday. It doesn't like. It just depends when you're all free. You know.
All right.
Nothing set.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Appreciate the heads up. Before we finish up, do you need to do like where can people find you and all that? Because I know some people do that in certain podcasts. Like, where can they like your YouTube channel if you want them to check you out or whatever, or if you have anything like that. I'm sure you do, RK.
Okay, guess I'll go first. My NeoGaf username is RK128, and I have all my retrospectives are on there, and a new one I started recently for Kingdom Hearts is going to be posted. The first part of it's going to be posted sometime this weekend. My Twitter account is. I feel bad I forgot the name, but I'm positive.
You forgot your own Twitter name.
No, but
Can't twit anymore.
Whatever. It's just type in RK128 in the search bar and you'll find it. But you could also
That guy.
find exactly. But whatchamacallit, I also wrote content for Crash News, which has my Crash retrospectives. I'm also a writer on Freewhile, which is a gaming site that Montana created, and I'm writing for, and reviews and upcoming reviews for games like Flat Kingdom, Galgun, and what will be coming up in the next couple of days, and. Let's keep on gaming and let's keep on running, everyone.
Very good.
I'll actually be including any links in the description, so just to make sure people are able to find you easily, if you want them to.
That sounds
What
awesome.
if-
No
What
problem.
if you're lost?
Lost.
Where am I?
Lost.
Who are
Where
you?
am I? Oh my gosh, who am I talking to?
Who am I? Where am I? Who am I? Where am I? Who am I? Where am I?
Oh no, it's confusion.
Who am I? I gotta find out my past.
Chaos control.
Got angst about it. Maria!
Maria.
That's my only line of dialogue. Maria. Sounds like a Spanish soap opera. Maria!
Shadow the Hedgehog soap opera would be amazing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Si, senor.
Meek and Crow, do you have anything, like any plugs or whatever, as they call them?
Oh boy. I have a couple.
Sure.
But if you're already on SMB, you probably already know them. But just to humor the podcast, I'll just say it because why not? Let's see here. I'm all over the place. I'm obviously on SMB. That's the easiest place to find me. I'm on Facebook, but I won't give that away because I don't like my real name. So, shh. I'm not on Facebook. Okay? Shh. And so, I'm definitely on Twitter, though. I'm at Crow _the _BOOLET. So, if you just look for Crow BOOLET, you should find me pretty easily.
You know, Crow, I just noticed something. If you spelled your name Crow with a K, backwards it should spell work.
The funny thing is, I actually did have my name with a K at one point. I was like known as Funeral Crow. But for some reason, it didn't stick because I was like, I'm also on Tumblr. I tend to like blog about Yu-Gi-Oh! And card fight stuff. That's easy to find too. I'm Crow the BOOLET on there, flying at black feathers, if you're wondering.
Yeah, he says he's everywhere.
So that's easy to find.
He says he's everywhere, so chances are you'll find a feather here and there.
Yeah.
There's a few places. There's a few places where I'm not known as Crow, so like a kind of a heads up. I used to be heavily on Sega forums, but not so much now. I used to be known as Def on there because I was like, ha ha ha. No one has used his name yet, despite like hundreds of people being on the site. So I was like, okay, I wouldn't fit. That's it for a while. So I was known as Def on Sega forums. I'm also on TV Tropes, and again, I kind of just add stuff from the current Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 anime because I really love that. And so on there, I'm known as Zabel Zarok, all one word, because I love Darkstalkers. And that's a lot of plugs, if you ask me. I have enough plugs to fill the Titanic. I think that's all my major ones, anyways. So go ahead, Mickey. Make my day.
Of course, I'm on Sonic Stadium as Mikyeong. I'm pretty easy to find. Because
that seems to be a trend.
Because I'm like in the Sonic. I'm not in the Sonic. I'm mostly in the Sonic board, or I'm in the status updates.
I think that's where we all are.
Yeah. To be honest, the status updates are the best part of Sonic Stadium.
You know, it's funny. You know, it's funny. You say we're in a Sonic board, but it feels like for the last 2 years, we Sonic fans have been pretty bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't bored. I was replaying the entire series over and over again.
Yeah, you're not very. You weren't very bored.
I'm certainly bored.
I'm also on Tumblr, which I am Mikyeong Casey on thattumblr.com.
Oh, let me write this down. It's hard to spell. Okay, I think I spelled it right.
Yeah.
Crows with a K, right?
So wait,
okay.
wait, were you going through your Kardashian phase or what?
Neighbor.
Because of the whole K thing.
Okay.
No, this is the KKK now. Controversial statement. Anyways,
I don't.
Everything.
I don't really have very many plugs, although I guess. Well, this will be on my YouTube page anyway, so it's not really. It's kind of an unnecessary plug. I can mention my own small website. It's barely a website. It's I actually made it like back in 2011 or so, but I only started using it like last year. It is called Gold Metal with a T Sonic.wordpress.com, and there are a few things here. I just usually post up some videos, including the Nintendo-thon videos. I believe. Yeah, and yeah, I'm hoping to expand it with reviews or whatever. The site's actually called, titled Hero of Legend Sites of Musings, Reviews, and Let's Plays. So I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping to add more content to it. But if you want to check it out, bookmark it and maybe check it out once in a while when you feel bored and have nothing else to do. You might find something new, maybe. I don't know. No, just saying. But anyways. That's pretty much it from all four of us.
I would plug in my YouTube channel, but it's nothing really anything special because I've been infamous for making the worst YouTube poop in history. But I did make some pretty funny Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 edits where I replaced all the dialogue with Sonic Adventure 2 lines.
I gotta watch that.
The funny thing is that for the second thing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Adventure 2 that I did, I did okay with the first part, and I cut away to where Roger was being Eggman. It was so timed so well. I was like, I'm proud of this part rather than the first part. You got to see it to believe it. So it's obviously the same as Crow the BOOLET on there, so not hard to find again.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I just wanted to just mention that at least.
No
Forgot
worries.
about that.
No worries. Alright. I suppose that's it.
Before we go, let's all say one word to describe how we feel about what we want the anniversary event to be. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
Excited.
Meek?
Sonic?
Crow?
Okay. Bro! Crow's an adjective, right?
Let me think
Yes,
Let me think of a word. Just so the question is, what word do we think would describe the event tomorrow? Arcade?
Do we need?
I'm sorry. Yes. Yes.
Let's see.
We need a dictionary, guys.
How about dissatisfactory? Because it like you said, Arcade, it just won't. There's no way it'll please everyone, so someone will find it dissatisfactory in some way or form.
I'm looking forward to seeing NeoGaf explode into flames on Friday night.
I don't think
Sorry.
that. I don't
Same
think,
with Sonic Stadium.
I think
Oh,
Sonic
man.
Stadium is the one that's going to explode, as opposed to Gaff. I mean, maybe there'll be one thread, that's about it, but, well, it depends what's announced. I mean, it has to be something really uber-changing, like series-changing or whatever, or something major for it to really go
Or
nuts.
Sonic Sonic finally has tan arms and Sonic Boom. Kind
Oh
of
my
thing.
god, that changes everything.
Classic Sonic
Or
will
it
have...
could just be Sonic Pizza Party.
No. Classic Sonic will have green eyes now.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Anyways, I guess, as we're approaching... Actually, we're just past now the 2.5 hour mark. I guess I'll take this opportunity for us to sign out here. So, thank you very, very much for tuning in to the first group Hero of Legend podcast. I think it's not even fair anymore to call it the Sonic 25th Anniversary Party Predictions Podcast, because I think we only covered that in maybe a quarter of the podcast.
We talk about Sonic a lot.
It's more like
That
Sonic,
counts.
like
We
Sonic.
talked mostly about Nintendo.
I guess you could call it the Sonic and other Madness podcast. Get the reference?
The Sonic Chaos Podcast.
Chaos Control!
So, anyways, okay, I'll just sign out by saying thank you very much again, and this is Hero of Legend, and you wanna just say your names and thank the audience?
Sounds great. My name's RK64, and thank you for listening to me.
Alright, I'm President Crow, President of SSMB, and I'm going to leave you at that.
I'm Mikyeong. Arigatou gozaimasu.
And we hope to see you next time. Well, we don't have an exact day yet, or whenever, but we'll let you know when that happens. Anyways, thanks again. Take care, everyone, and see you next time.